president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Strata Air Conditioning is offering a new energy-efficient AC system for as low as $79.95 per month with approved credit. Hi, I'm Joe Strata, owner of Strata Air Conditioning and Heating. For over 30 years, I've been working hard to keep Florida homes cool and comfortable while providing 5-star customer service. If your current AC company isn't meeting your expectations, you oughta call Strata. Our friendly staff and expert technicians are committed to every customer's complete satisfaction. Plus, we offer great deals like a new system for as low as $79.95 per month. Go to StrataAC.com for all the details. You can buy with confidence with the Strata AC $500 best price guarantee. These are just a few of the reasons you oughta call Strata. 833-757-3500 or visit us online at StrataAC.com. That's StrataAC.com. Strata Air Conditioning is a proud Goodman Air Conditioning partner.
CAC 043953.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Why should you hire the largest injury firm in the world for your injury case? Lots of people hired us. We've collected over $15 billion and won a lot. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Carl Black Chevrolet wants to send you and a friend to Nashville for a fun-filled weekend and tickets to see Luke Bryan at Bridgestone Arena on August 12th.
Yeah, that's my kind of night.
Round-trip airfare, hotel accommodations, and $200 spending money are all included. Register to win this Luke Bryan concert trip now at realradio.fm/contests. Carl Black Chevrolet Buick GMC Orlando, 11,500 East Colonial Drive, and online at carlblackorlando.com. Chevy, find new roads. Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you deserve better. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeart Radio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeart Media, its management, or advertisers. You are now listening to The Jim Colbert Show on Real Radio 104.1.
That's right, guys. Here we go on a Monday edition of the Jim Colbert Show. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate that greatly, and we do have a pretty good show for you today. It's like a B minus for you today. We will get you caught up on what's happening out in the world. Deb's Woke News will do that around 3:20. In the 4 o'clock hour, we'll talk to our boy Brandon Kravitz about some sports happening with some cool stuff to talk about. Trivia in the 5 o'clock hour, and of course, we'll end the show up with Ross Slott's TK Law. Our buddy Ray Trindley drops by today, and we'll do last call as well. Plus, we'll take your calls, talkbacks, and text all day long. Welcome to the show. I am Jim. To my left, my lovely and very dangerous co-host, Ms. Deb Roberts.
Hello there.
Straight ahead producer Jack Bradshaw.
Good afternoon.
Comedy alien Ross Badgett.
Peanut butter and jellies are good.
They are.
They're still good.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us, 77031. Find us easily on social media, Instagram, Facebook at The Jim Colbert Show. On Twitter, it's just at Jim Colbert Show. And, of course, all day, every day at JimColbertLive.com. No keywords. That's all done. 4 winners.
I know.
We led the cluster, though. Cluster was down. Had they analytic this out of the game?
No, here's the deal. Cluster is always where the cluster was. We just always did laps around them. We still had twice as many as our nearest station.
Yeah. I know, but what I'm saying is our cluster even was down, right? I mean, the totals?
No, the rest of them, they normally only get 1 or 2. We do all the heavy lifting.
Jack's inability to even mildly.
All the heavy lifting with this guy.
Well, we had 4 winners, so to the 4 people who won $1,000 from us here at Real Radio, congratulations. Hope you have a little bit better of a summer because of that.
Hey,
There you go.
no one would sneeze at a $3,000.
Everybody have a good weekend?
Yes. By the way, the $5,000 opportunity listing on the iHeart app continues for another couple weeks.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
good.
definitely click on that because we can't.
Yeah, listen through the app. I mean,
Yeah.
that way you don't have to worry about any of the weather messing you up or anything like that.
Exactly.
Just iHeartRadio app is easy to download. It's free, and you don't have to worry about anything. Where you are, what you're doing, you can always get it.
Left my house both days this weekend. Yeah.
Did you really? Good
Sure
for you.
did.
Oh.
And I had a party.
You have to kind of explain that because people are like, what do you mean, like, left your house? Are you quarantined?
Yeah, no.
Deb's not much of a mingler when she gets off work.
No.
Like she's like Stoop Kid from Hey Arnold.
Stays on the porch.
Yep.
Yeah.
If I don't have to leave, I didn't leave. But yeah, so last call event was Saturday night. So cleaned all day and then went out to the event that night, watched
Nice.
fireworks, and then got home about 9:30, and then company started arriving about 10:30.
Wow, company getting there at 10:30 for Deb.
At
Usually
10
that's jammy time for
I
you,
know. And then, partied with everyone till about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Damn, I like this thing.
Wow.
I like this
Yeah.
thing. You get any crashers? Did it look like a dorm room when you woke up the next morning?
No, not
Mayors
too
and
bad.
whatnot straggling as half of the council laying across your couches, hammered. Deb is like tied in with all the city commissioners out there. She knows everybody.
Yeah,
So-
we're not passing laws. We're passing something else.
Right. Her house is like the safe house for partying for the entire city commission of Mount Dora. It's great.
You can come over to our house. Nothing
yeah,
happened. We
right.
saw nothing.
Leave your phone in the
Exactly.
fishbowl. Nobody saw
Nobody
anything.
saw anything.
That's great.
But then yesterday, went out to breakfast, went to the farmer's market,
Damn, that's nice.
stopped, visited my mom, and then passed out watching the Cubbies lose to the Cards.
All right, very good. Guys, anything special this weekend? I know Jack went out to SeaWorld for the craft beer thing.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I did that yesterday.
Saw your
That-
video. That's cool.
That was a lot of fun. It
Yeah.
was hot out, but I just went station to station and got another sample of fine craft beer.
Yeah.
But the food was, I don't know, better than I expected.
They did a good job, man.
I had a few different items, but I have to tell you, my favorite thing is now this. You have a different name for it. They call it a walking taco.
Right.
You call it an Oogie bag?
Yeah, so back in the day,
A
a guy
what?
I used to work with on the morning show used to call it an Oogie bag. And an Oogie bag would be like they take a bag of Fritos,
Right.
and they would tear it open and then put chili and
Oh,
cheese and
right.
onions and jalapenos in there, and you basically just ate it with a fork or whatever right out of the damn bag.
Yeah.
And they call it a walking taco
Yeah,
now.
they call
but
it a walking taco. Yeah, it's got the Fritos, Cigar City infused chili, pico de gallo, and sour cream.
At this point, it's essentially Americana.
Yeah, it is.
That entree, I guess calling it an entree is a little, a little too much, but it's at every high school football game.
Oh man, they're the greatest.
At least that's where I had mine for the first time.
The volleyball team that I used to run the concession stand for my kid's volleyball team when she was a senior.
Good man.
And they just started doing that. It used to be just like chili cheese dogs and stuff, and they just started introducing the Oogie bag or the walking taco. And I think they're charging like $4 for it. And that's a steal, man, because that's a damn good dish. It was like your normal bag of Fritos, right? You cut the top open, dump in like one spoonful of chili, a little bit of sour cream and cheese on top of it.
It's the convertible of snacks.
It is so good. Jack was tearing it apart.
Yeah, it was so good. I also, this didn't make the video, but I had this dessert, and it's funny because I saw the name, I'm like, I'm not getting that. My wife got it, cut it in half, and gave me half. I'm like, oh, that was so good. Churro cheesecake, so deep fried cheesecake with cinnamon sugar dust served with dark chocolate sauce.
What's better
and
on
chantilly cream?
And what's better on a steaming hot day than fried cheesecake?
That's what they say you're actually supposed to do because it heats your core up and makes the outside not feel as hot.
Is that why all the Indians like all their food is just balls hot and it's like 130 in the shade over there?
Actually, that's to hide rancid meat.
Ugh,
That's
okay.
why, yeah.
Back to you.
That's where the spicier the food, it's usually the hotter parts of the world.
Yeah.
Where food just doesn't keep that long.
Uh-huh.
So.
Yeah. Did you have any of that craft beer, Jack?
I did. I had a few of those. In fact, they also have a liquor option, and it was this bourbon, a bourbon sour, like a whiskey sour, but made with bourbon, but it was a slushy.
Ooh,
and I got that, and it was, about 100 degrees, and it was a sample cup, so I took 2 quick sips. And the thing about a slushy, for it to be in liquid form, it's as close to the temperature of freezing as you can get.
And what happens?
This no lie. was the worst brain freeze I ever had in my life.
Could you imagine your whole body's like a buck 30.
No.
And then you fire down a 33-degree drink.
I just put my hand. We were leaning against these rocks there at SeaWorld, having a lovely time. I just put my hand there and just waited for this wave of pain to subside.
That's the closest you'll come to having a stroke without actually having a stroke.
It felt like a lightning bolt hit my brain.
Oh.
You took a hatchet to the forehead.
Yeah, no idea though.
So then, as soon as it faded, I'm like, okay, I got to go get on Pipeline. Then I rode the Pipeline roller coaster where you're standing up surfing.
Oh, how was that?
And that was a absolute blast. I was surprised at how smooth it was because you are standing. You're in a harness, but you are standing on this giant surfboard.
Was it freaky at all? Because that's such an unusual. I mean, we've never done that on a roller coaster stand up.
Right, first time. But I found it smoother than most other roller coasters. The hydraulic on the harness, the way it moves, so you can, if you squat your legs, you're going down. If you stand up, you're going up. And
That's
the hydraulic and the harness just moves right with you.
That's cool.
Cool.
Almost to kind of emulate the idea of being on a wave, like
Absolutely.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was really well done. I know they have a height restriction. I think you have to be over 4.5 feet tall, under 6.5 feet tall. But if you're in that window,
you're good.
It works, and it was a lot of fun.
And the crazy thing is, I remember being out there a couple of months ago. We were out there to see Martina McBride, and they were running the test runs for the. It's called. I call it surf coaster, but it's not. It's called Pipeline.
Yeah, Pipeline surf coaster.
There you go. And the one thing I remember is like, damn, you could barely hear that thing, and we were right beside it because it was like we're like that thing sounds like it is like glass. It is. And then when Jack comes in and says it is so smooth, like it sounds like it would be very smooth. Like it barely makes any noise.
Well, someone just texted us at 77031, said, Jack, glad you like Pipeline. I'm a tech on that ride.
Oh,
very cool.
Did a great job. It was a lot of fun.
All right, 407-916-1041. And I know that you had a very special event this weekend.
Yeah. I'll tell you everything about yesterday at 6.
Okay,
but
very good.
Saturday, I had a real bookend experience of a day. Saturday morning, I unfortunately went to a funeral of somebody who left this planet far too young at the age of 36.
Wow.
But showing up, it was a bittersweet experience, of course, funerals. But when I got there, I didn't actually see the funeral because it was over capacity.
Oh, wow.
There were you just watch soccer on your phone instead?
No, I just honestly stared at a wall and heard it.
Oh, wow.
Because it was very, very quiet, but I'm happy that I missed the funeral visually because of that reason. And it was a very somber morning. And then it was a reminder of how great sports can be.
Okay.
Because then I went to the Orlando City game that night.
Oh, yeah.
And it was enthralling.
We'll be talking about that with Brandon today for sure.
3-2 victory. Had some money in the game as well.
What?
It was a great Saturday. And then last night's stand-up gig was one for the books.
Surreal, huh?
Very much so.
Yeah, we'll hear about that a little bit later today.
Yeah.
All right, very good. 407-916-1041. Today I got the finger.
Nice.
Oh, God.
What? In traffic.
I thought they stopped doing that.
No, they did not. They revived it just for your boy.
Oh, that finger.
Oh, the finger.
Oh, that finger.
Let's see how you're doing, finger.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Here's what sucks. Here's what sucks.
Don't look into my eye
Tell me
and
about
tell
your-
me. Yeah.
Describe
do
your
not.
doctor to me.
Do that.
Look at me. I don't
Look
mind
at
it.
Ross.
Yeah, I don't
Here's
mind
what
it.
sucks.
Right in my eye.
What sucks is
Right in my
today I thought I was going for my diverticulitis appointment.
Right,
I told you guys
right.
with my life imaging life scan. A life imaging FLA scan. I found a few things out. Did the kidney one last week, and I thought today was the diverticulitis appointment.
Oh, so you didn't prep it?
Well, I took a shower, if that's what you mean. Yeah.
Well, you could have bidet.
No, I didn't bidet, but I did a whole lot of cleaning back there. But I like it to be clean back there. It's fine.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like to? It's swampy in Florida. You don't want any of that slipping around. Anyway.
So you weren't expecting this. This was a plot twist for you.
So I get to the place, and it's like, it's out there on Reinhardt Road in Lake Mary. And I call my wife. I'm like, and I was talking to my wife the night before about the appointment. She goes, no, I think you have that mixed up. I think you have this one tomorrow. I'm like, no, it's not. Obviously, I don't get stuff mixed up because I remember everything perfectly clear.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So when I pull up, it says scanning, and I was like, oh, that's right up the alley. I mean, I know they're doing a scan. Boom, boom, boom. Walk up there, and I get up to the suite, and it says urology, and I'm like, well, that's odd. I mean, I didn't think the
they checked your prostate.
I didn't think that the colon had anything to do with urology, but you know what? I'm a bit dumb sometimes, so I'll just slide in here. They come out and they take me in, and they get me in there and get me all set up, and that is when I found out. They start asking about my prostate, and I go, what? I thought we were doing the. She goes, no, we're doing your prostate today, and I was told by the tech that I went to, or the is it PA that I went to before, that they don't do that anymore. Oh,
right.
No, we've ruled that test is ruled out, no problem. We can just see everything on the scan. So I'm sitting there pretty comfortably. I get checked in, and then the other PA comes in, the person who's actually doing the exam after I get my blood pressure tested, doing right there.
That poor soul.
And she,
even worse.
Whoa,
your age.
Oh,
man.
Good looking.
Comes in. Well, I mean, she's a cute girl.
Deborah.
What?
I mean, she wasn't.
He's gonna get the finger. At least he's gonna be.
She's not a lunch lady or anything.
But how tall?
I don't know, 5'6". I don't know, 5'7". Normal.
Could you tell with her hands on your shoulders?
Oh, come on, man. Listen. First thing I do is look. She goes, hey, we're here to look at your prostate today. And I'm like, oh, really? So we start talking. She goes, family history. I go, yeah, there's some family history issues with that. We definitely want to pay attention. That's why I'm here today, 55. You got to make sure. She goes, oh, yeah. When's the last time you had the test? And I go, what exam are you talking about?
From you guys?
She goes, the exam. And then she got to tilt her head a little bit. And that was like the international sign to which one we're talking about, dude.
Oh.
And I'm like, I think it was like 2017. And the worst thing happened. She goes, oh man. And when she said, oh, immediately I look over to the counter and what do I see? The bottle of lube and the gloves. And I knew what was coming. She goes, okay, well, we're going to do your exam today. I'm going like, okay, should I pull up my shirt? Because I thought it was like possibly the sonogram, because that also uses gel.
No, sir, it's not a belly button thing.
No. She said the two things. She said the one thing that let me know I was in for the exam. If you could just place your hands flat right here.
Oh.
And just scoot your pants down just a little. And I went, this is happening too fast.
Yeah.
It's just too quickly. I came in here thinking we're doing something completely different, and now I'm about to get violated.
Yeah. You got to make some phone calls.
Did you kiss her on the cheek when you were done?
Oh, man.
Now,
did you leave any money on the counter?
Thinking back, do you ever wish you finally installed that bidet I gave you?
Right? You would have been prepared.
Well,
you would have been prepared for this chick to hand turkey you.
Yeah, she says now there's going to be a little pressure. And you know what can I tell you? When I put my hand, I don't get embarrassed by stuff like that. Like I could have been I just don't get embarrassed about stuff like it is what it is, right? Your body is what it is. Mm-hmm. And everybody's body is what it is what it is, right? So there's nothing you can do about it. You don't get embarrassed. These people are in the medical world. The front never got exposed. I'm happy about that. But when you pull the pants down, I was like, oh, you know what? Thank God it's a woman. Thank God it's a woman. You know what I don't need? I don't need some dude with hot dog fingers coming in here. I don't need that. I don't need Jumbo Frank John in there with his glove on that barely fits. He's got to double up, I was perfectly happy to find very petite Miss Dr. Man. And it was very fast. She goes, this is going to be a little uncomfortable. And I'm like, the whole thing, I'm thinking like, for me, a little, for you, a whole bunch. So we did it. No, everything's fine. No problem. Even though the life imaging scan showed a little bit of swelling and a little bit of enlargement, she goes, that's perfectly normal for your age. We just got to keep it. Now it's every year. I got to get it every year. And there's no scanning. I will get the thing every year. I said, can I request you in advance?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. You have to adjust the finger.
Because you got to prefer a woman. I think even if you were a woman in that instance, I think you would still prefer a woman. I know that wouldn't happen. It's a dude thing. But
yeah, it is a dude thing.
I just wouldn't want a guy being like, guys aren't very present.
They're not.
They'd be like, I forgot my rings were on.
And we went, exactly. And she went right back to conversation about medicine. It wasn't like, because my other doctor did it before, and it was like, after that happens, There's not a lot of eye contact or talk. He has to leave the room and then come back in, almost like to reset the room.
Yeah.
That we could just have now a conversation between two dudes about somebody's health.
Yeah, refresh the page.
She was ripping that glove off, going, okay, you're fine, blah, 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 blah. No big deal.
Did she turn her back to you and point out where the tissues are?
No, she did not.
She did not.
She didn't. She said, you can, and I'm sitting there talking to her, and I'm still unzipped in the whole 9 yards. I mean, nothing showing, but I'm like, okay, she walked out, I cleaned up, and then out I went. No big deal. It was great.
Great.
Going back tomorrow.
There you go.
All right, 407-916-1041. Deb, what's coming up for news?
Thousands are left without jobs following the abrupt closure of Yellow Freight. Volusia County police are working to protect kids from online predators, and a French influencer dies after falling from a skyscraper. Yeah, we'll talk about that and more coming up next during Woke News.
All right, 407-916-1041. Back in a sec with Deb's News and more of the Jim Colbert Show.
Because sometimes infighting amongst friends is exactly what you need to lower the volume on the voices in your head. Alexa, play Real Radio 104.1 on iHeart Radio.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
What's happening? I hope your week is off to a great start on this Monday. And right now, on the major highways and roads of Orlando, a little bit of your usual delay. That's, of course, east and westbound on I-4, approaching State Road 535, but nothing major there. Actually, nothing major in the rest of the major highways and roads, including east and westbound lanes of the 408, also north and southbound of the Turnpike. North and southbound of the Greenway is also clear, and no issues reported on the 429 toll. Our Safe Touch Security traffic tip line number is 866-676-8477. I'm Brian.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples has what you need for travel. Passport photos, luggage, headphones, even personal travel-sized items. Now get $10 off your purchase of 30 or more when you buy a travel service. In-store only offer ends September 16th. Exclusions apply. Staples, your first stop to nonstop travel.
Man, here's a great thing. If you need a new bathroom or you need to rebuild your bathroom or just kind of remodel your bathroom, that could be overwhelming sometimes because the worst thing happens, right? You talk to your friends and family about it, and they're always saying the same thing over and over again. You know, this is going to cost you a fortune. They're going to be in your house for months. They're never going to get done. You're not going to get the products you really ordered. They're going to change them up and install them and then save themselves money, and it's just on and on and on. And sometimes that is true, 100%, but not with Rebath in Mid-Florida, guys. That's not how they roll at all. Dave Denbauer and his son Josh have been doing this in town for almost a decade now, and they only do bathrooms, and they do a wonderful job. Drop by their showroom to see the products you're working with. You'll be amazed. 436 up in Altamont. They're right across from Kobe. Very easy to find. And when you walk in, you'll see some models set up. Those models are basically just there to show you what the products look like, right? That way they can take their design team, your ideas, your bathroom space, and come up with a beautiful design that you're going to love for years. And yes, they can emulate those things you see on television and in the magazines. They do it all the time. And yes, they do everything. Once you hire Rebath, you're done. Plus, they have that natural stone like travertine and marble and all those beautiful colors. The sinks, the tubs, the lighting, the cabinetry, it's all right there. And from brand names that you've known for years. Hop on the website, look at those before and afters, see what they've done for actual customers here in Central Florida, like our buddy Daryl Payne from Paw Fetching Dog Training. And they'd be convinced, get that quote, and then get that new bathroom. You're going to love it. It's RebathMidFLA.com.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeart Media can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else, and we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeart Media can work for you. Get started today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
When you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. But you're clocking out and happy hour's already started. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
There are 16 spots in the playoffs and just one track left. Well, not just any track.
We're basically going to have to win.
Daytona. A last chance to keep playoff hopes alive.
1 point to the good.
And for fans to experience an event unlike any other. NASCAR weekend at Daytona International Speedway, August 25th and 26th. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Welcome to Ikea. Talk.
Talk? What's talk?
That's thank you in Swedish. We're saying talk to our loyal Ikea family members with lots of discounts and new lower prices on your favorite items, from the kitchen to the bathroom.
Wow, talk.
No, talk to you. Visit IKEA-USA.com/family-offers to check out our offers available to you. Offers valid 8/2 to 8/20. U.S. only while supplies last. Selection may vary by store and online. See store and IKEA-USA.com for complete terms. Restrictions apply.
Just call up, just call up, just call up, just call up. Injured on the go, just call up.
Mo DeWitt, Office, Orlando. Sung by non-attorney spokesperson.
There are more identity threats than you realize. Even if you monitor your credit, only a little personal info needs to leak out, like your social security number or password,
For you to become a victim.
LifeLock alerts you to threats you could miss. If your identity is stolen, a dedicated US-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions, but everyone can save up to 25% off their first year with promo code NEWS. Go to LifeLock.com.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Get ready for some serious price relief from International Diamond Center. Starting August 1st, IDC's Summer of Savings event is back with 2 amazing offers. First, you can get 20% off all wedding bands. Yes, save 20% off every stunning wedding band. Thousands to choose from, all top designers included. Or for everything else at IDC, you can choose offer number 2. 3 years, 0 interest financing. And IDC will cover your first 2 payments. That's right, you can get a beautiful engagement ring, bracelet, or pendant. Spread your payments over 36 months, and IDC will even cover your first 2 payments. Earrings, anniversary bands, even certified diamonds. At International Diamond Center, we know these days you want and deserve the best possible value. So we're rolling back both prices and finance rates. So come see us in August and get an extraordinary 20% off the top savings on all wedding bands. Or buy anything else and get 3 years 0 interest finance, and let us even take care of the first 2 payments. Get ready to save at International Diamond Center's Summer of Savings event starting August 1st. 4 Orlando locations. Unapproved credit. Some product restrictions apply.
Only iHeart Radio gives you access to all of your favorite radio stations.
The Rod Ryan Show. It's the Woody Show.
It's Elliot in the morning. All of the once-in-a-lifetime events.
iHeart Music Festival, yeah!
All of the best free curated playlists. The best bands. All of the great podcasts for every interest.
The stuff they don't want you to know.
All of the mind-blowing contests.
$20,000.
Awesome.
All of your favorite superstars.
This is Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters.
Best of all, it doesn't cost a thing. Download the absolutely free iHeart Radio app now.
On the app or in store. Orlando runs on Duncan.
The Jim Colbert Show returns now on Real Radio.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1, 407-916-1041 to call us. Text us easily at 77031. Welcome back. I am Jim. Jack and Ross are right over there. Let's get a check of the news. Here's Deb.
And now, it's time for Woke News.
It seems like kind of a misuse of the whole world.
On the Jim Colbert Show.
All right, Woke News is brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don. We're going to get to the Pee Wee Herman story. Thank you for the music, Jack, real quick. But I saw this and could not believe it. Thousands of people across the country, unfortunately, starting this week off without jobs due to the abrupt closure of yellow freight.
I know you see those trucks all the time,
yeah.
everywhere. 30,000 people or something, right?
Executives at the nearly 100-year-old trucking firm informed managers of the operation shutdown over the weekend. The company employs roughly 33,000 people.
Damn.
And had just relocated their headquarters to Nashville from the Kansas City area just last year. Now, additionally, Yellow, also known as YRC Freight, is on the hook for a $700 million emergency loan paid out by the federal government during the pandemic.
Wow.
Corporate leaders are expected to share additional information on the decision to shutter one of the nation's largest freight carriers and likely bankruptcy filings later today.
Wow. Unbelievable.
And how unfair. Those 33,000 people,
Unbelievable,
upend their life, knowing, they must have known this decision was coming down the pipe.
Right.
All right, the actor best known for portraying Pee Wee Herman has died following years of battling cancer. Paul Reubens was 70 years old. The comedian prepared a statement before his death apologizing for not going public with his health struggles over the last 6 years. Reubens spent part of his childhood in Sarasota and was a graduate of Sarasota High School. He starred in the TV series Pee Wee's Playhouse and 2 movies based on the same character. Now, his career faced a severe setback when he was arrested at an adult theater in Sarasota back in 1991. He eventually brought back the Herman persona on HBO and even on Broadway.
Yeah.
So he was in like a porn movie theater doing it?
He was
touching himself in the theater.
Yeah, but I just never really soaked in the detail that it was an adult film.
Yeah, they used to have those. They used to have a theater that would play, like they had one here in town.
See, I thought he was just doing this in the back of Flubber.
No.
It was a theater that was showing.
Oh, all right. Well, it's still bad, but it's not as bad.
Yeah, exactly. A tropical system out in the central Atlantic may be our next named storm of the season, which is Emily. Not yet, though. Philippe Papin at the National Hurricane Center in Miami says it has about a 70% chance of developing within the next 48 hours. Dubbed Invest 96L, it's likely to become a tropical depression or storm. There's also a system near North Carolina with a weaker chance of development. The good news is neither pose a threat to land. Right now, what's really more threatening than anything else is the stormy weather. We literally have all red on the radar, and it's just draped from I-4 in Daytona Beach all the way into Polk County. So just use some extra caution and patience on the road. Now, this next story just goes to show that the insurance love is being spread around the country.
Okay.
And it's only going to get worse with these heat waves and this other anomaly. So home insurers are insuring less and charging more as they try to find a way back to profitability after losing money the past 5 years. Now, the higher cost, lower coverage trend extends well beyond here, Florida and California, to other states prone to hurricanes, floods, or wildfires. So since the start of 2023, double-digit increases have been approved in over 30 states. Wow. Arizona, Texas, North Carolina, Oregon, Illinois, and Utah had the biggest total of approved increases, ranging from 20 to 30%. Now, in states like California, some insurers are halting sales of new policies, just like we've heard of here in Florida. Storms, natural disasters, inflation, and supply chain issues have significantly increased claims, leaving many insurers still in the red. Despite sharp increases to premiums, insured damage in the U.S. from natural disasters, how much do you think it has topped?
Man,
in each of the past 3 years.
God, the whole time you're talking, I'm just thinking, man, hurricanes and tornadoes are one thing, but both of those wildfires have been buzzing now for 5-8 years they've been going.
You've got the floods in the Northeast.
Oh, man, I will go.
Now, this is insured damage in the U.S. from natural disasters has topped this amount in each of the past 3 years.
$1 trillion.
$100 billion.
It's funny. I was going to say it true.
Oh, well, I took it.
I'll shoot the gap.
Shoot the gap.
A $750 billion.
$90 billion.
Oh, give me the ding, dog. I'm right there. I'm like 10 off.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
You can have the ding dog.
You're 10 billion off.
That's fine. You were a billion, trillion, gillion off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was far.
Why don't you pipe down?
Has topped $90 billion in the past 3 years. And like I said, not going to be changing anytime soon. All right, Volusia County Police are trying to protect kids from the dangers online. The sheriff's office is hosting its first of 5 meetings later today as a way to spread awareness about how to shield your children from internet predators. Now, deputies say the new initiative was sparked after a recent arrest earlier this month involving a 29-year-old Brevard County man and a 12-year-old girl who met through the Wink app that's supposed to, help you make friends. Yeah. The agency and the Florida Department of Children and Families will attend the public forums to help inform caregivers, to look for that extra secret calculator that's on your preteen's phone.
Right.
The first meeting will take place at 6 p.m. at a family church in New Smyrna Beach, and it was a family member of that 12-year-old who saw a video of that 29-year-old having sex with that young girl, and that's what led to his arrest, was when he showed up at her house for a third time.
Wow, dude.
So
wow, that's why you have to. That's why you have to put them away forever. The urge never goes away. You cannot be rehabilitated from that. It doesn't go away. It'd be like saying, okay, now you're attracted to something else.
Well,
you have what you're attracted to, and like, oh, now it's something you just can't. You can't nullify it. It doesn't go away.
And being that she's only 12, I could imagine he's going to be looking at several years behind bars.
So
all right, Florida's toll relief program is paying off for residents who commute daily on toll roads. The program has saved over 1 million SunPass customers more than $227 million over the past 6 months. The year-long program automatically gives frequent users with at least 35 monthly toll transactions a 50% account credit.
All right, very good.
The program runs through the end of 2023 and is expected to save drivers nearly $500 million.
Wow.
And that's going to be nice because Florida's gas prices are reaching their highest levels so far this summer, despite a slight drop. AAA says the state average went up nearly 30 cents per gallon over the past 2 weeks. So the current average is now $3.65, the most expensive fuel. South Florida, no surprise, especially in Palm Beach County, where prices are close to $3.80.
Mm-hmm.
The organization says a rise in oil prices are the primary reason behind the recent jump at the pump. A Central Florida transit system wants to expand its operations to Orlando International Airport. Lynx is proposing a new bus station near the airport's Terminal C.
All right.
So this is the same spot where Brightline will begin its first ever high-speed route to South Florida later this year. Board members with the transit system approved a plan last week to allow Lynx to start designing its proposed facility. Construction is expected to surpass $4 million.
So they think that people are going to take the bus down to the train?
Potentially, yeah.
Interesting.
And vice versa, Jim.
Yeah.
You can take the train to the bus.
Yeah, I guess so.
Ooh.
There's no rules.
I find that interesting. I mean, you get. I mean, I know that's an interesting concept. I mean, do people who ride the bus, would they be using the train to go to Miami for pleasure?
I guess what they're thinking is that if you have an option, then, outside of Uber or Lyft.
Maybe you'll take it?
Then that way, then you don't have people parking for the train station as well as people parking to take the planes.
Got it.
So that's what I'm assuming.
Yeah.
That's why you want the light rail and sunrail specifically to go to the airport because that feeds into the communities.
Exactly. All right, a couple of politics notes. Let's get it out of the way. Vice President Kamala Harris is preparing to visit Central Florida this week. Harris is expected to speak in Orlando tomorrow at the AME 20th Women's Missionary Society Quadrennial Convention.
That's a lot.
God.
The event will take place at the Orange County Convention Center through Wednesday. Harris's trip comes about a week after she traveled to Jacksonville to speak out against the state's new education standards for African American history.
You know what's longer than the title of that convention? The amount of time you'll be in traffic tomorrow.
Yeah, good
avoid
point.
it when you can. I hate when the big wigs come
I
to
do
town
too.
Just because they close the road. They have to do all that stuff, but it is a pain.
Yeah, it is.
What's the acronym for this event? Like, that's what they're going to market,
It's a supercalifragilistic.
Like, that was 8 words.
Meanwhile, the property manager of Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate made his first appearance in a Miami courtroom today. Carlos de Oliveira was indicted by a grand jury Thursday on charges including conspiracy to obstruct justice and making false statements to the FBI. De Oliveira didn't enter a formal plea during the hearing. He'll be arraigned on August 10th in Fort Pierce and was released on a $100,000 bond pending trial. The special counsel's office alleges Trump, quote, requested, end quote, employees delete security footage sought by the Justice Department as part of its investigation into Trump's handling of classified material. It isn't clear whether any footage was ever deleted.
No, that's what they're all running with right now. Hey, man, he didn't delete anything, so there's no crime. That's the whole idea of conspiracy to obstruct justice.
Meanwhile, a federal judge has dismissed Trump's $475 million defamation lawsuit against CNN.
Another loss.
Trump filed the suit last year in Florida, accusing the network of libel and slander. It claimed CNN's use of the phrase, quote, the big lie, end quote, to describe Trump's alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election created a comparison with Adolf Hitler and Nazism.
Okay.
The judge's recent ruling concluded that the network's statements were opinion.
How many times do you have to be smacked around by courts? God almighty damn. It must get tired. He just loses left and right. These court has he won a court decision in a year?
Well, what's interesting is his political action committee has spent more than $40 million on legal costs just since the start of this year.
Hey, they have 200 of my mom's dollars.
Yes, they do, and multiple reports indicate that the number is more than double the amount Save America spent on legal fees in all of 2022. Most of the money used to defend the former president, his advisors, and others comes from exactly that place, Ross.
right.
Small dollar donations from Trump supporters. An official financial filing is expected to be released today.
Chris Christie said it best. It's the biggest scam going in America right now. Is every time you donate to Donald Trump as if it's going to his election, it has nothing to do with it. He's paying his legal bills with it.
A couple of consumer notes. Well,
Genuinely unbelievable.
One that's a consumer note and one that is going to fall under the absolutely unbelievable file. But another recall is impacting Trader Joe's locations across Florida.
Oh, God.
The grocery store chain has issued the order for its fully cooked falafel, saying it may contain rocks.
What?
The product.
You want the crunchy falafel?
Yeah, exactly.
And by the way, depending on the kind of rock, I may want to hop in line.
The product has been pulled from store shelves in more than 30 states, including here in the Sunshine State. This is the third recall the company has issued just this month. The others were directed at its unexpected broccoli cheddar soup and 2 types of almond cookies. Customers are asked to throw away these products or return them for a full refund.
Yeah, just park right there and take them right back in.
Yeah. A federal judge in South Florida is putting an end to a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against the Kraft Heinz Food Company.
Okay.
A Miami-Dade County woman filed the suit late last year, claiming the company was misleading customers about how long it takes to prepare its Velveeta microwavable mac and cheese.
Oh, God.
The company was accused of violating federal law by saying the food takes 3.5 minutes to prepare, arguing it did not include the time it takes to remove the lid and add water. A Miami district judge tossed out the case last week, saying the woman did not have enough standing to follow through with the $5 million class action lawsuit.
There you go.
I love when lawsuits sound like marital disputes.
It's very trivial.
Doesn't it sound like a husband and wife yelling at each other? I told you it's 3.5. No, it's not.
Right. Oh, you can take out the trash, but you can't put the bag back in?
And then also in South Florida, a Good Samaritan is credited with turning in thousands of dollars worth of drugs in the Florida Keys. U.S. Border Patrol's Miami sector announced yesterday that a boater found a brick of cocaine in the Keys on Saturday. The brick was turned into authorities. The Border Patrol says the brick weighed over 2.5 pounds, worth over $40,000.
Wouldn't you be, from the time you discover it and realize what you have until that time that you turn it in, aren't you worried that like the police find you before you find them kind of deal?
The dealers find you and you're holding their stuff?
Even worse.
Or if they've put something on the outside of the package?
I don't touch it. I just make a phone call. Hey, guys, a square grouper in this area here. You go get it. And then I just keep it as far away from that thing as possible. I'm with Jack.
Yeah, man, don't touch it.
I don't need 2 guys in sawed off showing up at my front door because they think I got their brick.
You see what I'm saying?
Hard pass.
Yeah, no. All right. And then finally, this is a real Final Destination story. A French daredevil known for filming dangerous stunts is dead after falling from the 68th floor of a Hong Kong skyscraper. Remy Lucidi, a 30-year-old known as Remy Enigma on Instagram, fell outside a penthouse apartment he got access to by telling a security guard he was visiting a friend on the 40th floor. According to Sky News, surveillance footage shows Lucidi exiting the elevator on the 49th floor and on the staircase to the top floor where a door was forced open. Authorities believe he lost his footing and fell after getting trapped outside of the building.
He did. And what did you hear there? I guess there was footage or possibility of him banging on a window, trying to get attention in one of the penthouses, trying to get somebody to come to his help. And he fell 685 feet and landed on someone's balcony.
No.
What was his plan?
This is what he does. He does this everywhere, all around the world.
Does he normally jump off like in a sky suit or bungee jump?
He just goes to the top and then goes down the elevator or stairs or whatever. I mean, this is his thing. I think this is the French Spider-Man, is it not?
I don't know if he's called French Spider-Man. It checks out. I know that like all the footage of someone on top of the building with like a GoPro and they climbed it illegally. That's a thing on the internet.
Yeah,
I'm sure he was in that
Oh,
community.
Yeah, so There you have it.
It makes my heart sink just thinking about being that high in the air.
It made my palms sweat thinking about him being trapped outside, being trapped outside on the 68th floor. Yeah. So as long as your Monday is going better than that.
Yeah, you're fine.
You're now officially woke.
As long as you didn't fall a quarter of a mile or
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
Make sure you hit like and subscribe, I guess.
And now, like I said, you're officially woke.
Thanks at 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Back in a sec with more of the Jim Colbert Show.
Real radio is Real Music Weekends. Real Music Weekends. This weekend on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by attorney Mo DeWitt. Injured on the go? Just call Mo.com.
From the Rude Air Conditioning Weather Center, powered locally by Ferguson HVAC.
Hi, everybody. Good Monday to you. Jamie King, Fox 35 Storm Center. Want to update you Central Florida weather for the remainder of your Monday. Hot, humid, summertime, 93 the peak today. Rain chances start to move on up as we get into the afternoon hours here for you after 2 to 3 p.m. Showers and storms on the rise. Coverage at 70%. As we take a look at tonight, rain wraps up as we head toward about 9 p.m. Lows to 76. Rain chance tomorrow at 60%. 92 your high Tuesday. For Fox 35, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jamie King.
This report is sponsored by Wawa. Wawa's new rechargers are energy drinks for everyday doers. Whether you're going out or staying in, power through your day with a new handcrafted iced or frozen Wawa recharger. Gotta have a Wawa.
Guys, it's hot in Florida. It's going to be this way for a long time, and that is why you have to have a reliable, quality AC company in your corner. For me and Ross and Deb and hundreds of Central Floridians, that is Mills Air, and it's not even a question because these guys go above and beyond like they did for Deb's mom when she needed an AC and she was out. Got them done, no problem whatsoever. Ross living in a house that didn't have an AC system. They had to not only do that, install like the entire thing, killed it for them. This is what they do. They rise above the situation that you may have, and then they give you the best service and the most quality products out there. They've been doing it for 30 plus years. Let them use that experience to make sure your AC makes it through every summer here in Central Florida. They can do that with their preventive maintenance plan, not to mention their Carrier factory authorized dealers, and that could get you up to $1,275 in rebates towards that brand new Carrier unit. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier and certainly turn to the experts at family owned and operated Mills Air. Call these guys today. See what they can do for you. It's easy. 407-277-1159. Find them online at millsair.com.
When money is tight, a little breathing room goes a long way.
It sure does. An Amscott installment cash advance from $100 to $1,000 could mean more money and more time to pay it back, all with no credit check. Amscott, some restrictions apply, subject to approval.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Look, some choices in life are complicated. Others, thankfully, are much simpler, like choosing True as One checking. There are no overdraft fees, lots of practical perks, and when your life evolves and account balances grow, we'll upgrade your perks automatically. Truest One checking. One simple choice. Truist Bank. Member FDIC.
Are you feeling tooth pain? Advanced Endodontics is here to help. Our state-of-the-art practice offers laser-assisted endodontics and same-day emergency appointments, so you don't need to wait for relief. We also provide easy financing and flexible payment plans. Advanced Endodontics is here for you with 5 convenient locations throughout Central Florida. No referrals are needed. Make an appointment today at ineedarootcanal.com. That's ineedarootcanal.com.
At Fifth Third Bank, we give you free checking, never have hidden fees, and help protect your identity.
Wow, really?
Yep. See, our name equals 166.7%, so we put in that much effort.
Well, my name's Jim, so I guess I'm headed to the gym, and I'm gonna put in 166.7% effort too.
Oh, I'm proud of you.
No one's ever been proud of me.
This is banking a Fifth Third better. Fifth Third Bank, National Association member FDIC.
Steve Kramer here with a divorce tip. Inheritance isn't a marital asset unless you handle the money wrong or your divorce wrong. Then you can lose it to your ex. Call Trenley and Kramer, TK Law. We do divorce. One firm for life.
The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people who make things happen, like me. I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest, a product design company that makes everyday products designed smarter. I get 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more, plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases, which helps us make more smart ideas into a brilliant reality.
The Ink Business Premier Card. Learn more at chase.com/business premier. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Account subject to credit approval. Restrictions and limitations apply. Cards are issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank. Any member FDIC.
Your spark is all you need. And let's be real, you don't have time for smoke and mirrors anyway. So ditch all the pretentiousness and the lighter it rode in on with Blue. Blue e-cigs are available in a variety of satisfying flavors and nicotine strengths. Even better, it's odorless. When you're living unlit, you're comfortable being your true you. And no one will mistake ashtray for your signature scent. Blue. Get unlit. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Underage sale prohibited. Blue is a trademark of Fontum Holdings 4BV. Copyright 2022. Fontum US LLC.
Hey, it's Jesse Kelly. When a restaurant closes, my reaction is, that sucks. They had good steak. When regional banks close, or 3 of them close overnight, it freaks me out. This is why I have my own personal gold reserve. It's part of my personal protection plan. Call my friends at Oxford Gold Group. Call 833-404-GOLD. 833-404-GOLD. That's 833-404-GOLD.
O'Reilly. Increase your vehicle's performance and gas mileage with Lucas Fuel Treatment at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Simply add it to your tank at your next fill-up to eliminate carbon and varnish deposits. Right now, get 2 bottles of Lucas Fuel Treatment for $10. See store for details. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store or shop online at O'ReillyAuto.com. O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Car crash? Call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Real Radio 104.1.
The Jim Colbert Show returns now on Real Radio 104.1.
Wait, the keyword is bidet? I thought that was over. Whoops.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate that on this stormy Monday. Nasty out there. And you're right. It pretty much encompasses the entire city.
It is.
Central Florida area, actually. It's everywhere and bad.
And now there's been a severe thunderstorm warning that's just been issued for Osceola County as well.
Yeah, you guys pay attention out there on the roads, man. It's knockoff time here pretty soon. And it's going to be nasty out there. So nice and patient. Turn us up. We got you all the way to your driveway. That's for sure. Welcome back. I'm Jim. Deb, Jack, and Ross are here as well. All right. So it's hot outside. Obviously, there's no question. It's been spoken about a lot. Matter of fact, I believe, didn't somebody say today? Did I listen? I don't know if I heard it on the Monsters or on the Junkie that this
the weather forecast.
No,
and how it said just devil taint.
No. This is the hottest you will ever. This is the. I think Russ said it today that this is the least hot summer you'll experience from now on.
Yep. This will feel cool compared to what it's going to be like.
Every summer from this summer on will feel progressively warmer than this summer. So take what you are experiencing right now and understand that the summers are going to be like this for a while.
All right. I think I still got it. I'm a hot, warm guy. I don't like cold weather. I'm a lizard person.
Yeah, I don't mind it either. I mean, I obviously you mind it because there are certain things that, it makes it dangerous for people to work. But I played golf on Saturday, and it was bad. Don't get me wrong, but it was not as bad as it was like 2 weeks ago.
It is more than just us being uncomfortable being outside. You see the reefs, the bleaching of the reefs. These climate and weather patterns changing, and this homeowners insurance crisis. How's that going to get better when it's only more and more severe weather affecting the things they're insuring.
Water issues, water table issues that will actually are going to hinder where you can live in this country probably sooner than later.
Yeah, will floodplains change because of that? You think, oh, I'm not living in a floodplain. Well, is that still true 5 years from now?
Not only that, they're saying, climate change is going to even make traveling more difficult because they're saying air turbulence, which of course sent several people to the hospital recently. One passenger saying that the flight attendant looked like she was in the movie Matrix.
Oh, yeah.
Where she hovered in the air before she slammed to the ground.
Damn.
And they're saying because of changing weather patterns that more air turbulence is going to be another byproduct of it.
Well, as we deal with this, it's interesting because, here in Florida, my wife was at the parks this past week.
God bless
and
her.
she just said just Universal was so brutal on Friday. It was just absolutely brutal. And what's the number one thing you think of here in Central Florida or anywhere it's hot, when you want to cool yourself off? What do?
Swim.
Yeah. Also, what do you consume?
What, water?
Right. Do you think water's the best thing?
I would say ice water's got to help cool down your body temperature to some degree.
So a story out of CNN today was kind of interesting. It says, which drink is best for hydration? And then it says, hint,
Pedialyte.
It ain't water.
Pedialyte.
So I'm out there this Saturday, and I'm playing golf, and I've got a 40-ounce Yeti thing that I take with me everywhere I go, and I load it up with water, ice water in the clubhouse. Then I get a styrofoam cup that they offer right next to that, and I fill that up with water so I can refill it, and then do it again at the turn. After 9 holes, you come back in, refill it up, there, off you go, right? So throughout that day, I consumed about 4.5 of those 40-ounce Yeti things. Never urinated once, never went to the bathroom once. And I was like, man, I've done a good job. But you could still, for some reason, feel that you were kind of thirsty.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't drink any Gatorade, but they say, what do you guys think the best drink is? What do you think? I mean, it's not water for sure. What do you think the best thing to drink is to stay hydrated?
I'm sticking with Pedialyte.
Pedialyte, not a bad guess.
Gatorade, Powerade, any of those.
Also, that
the
applies.
electrolytes they're supposed to replace.
Right, so that works, right? Because what they say is something with a little sugar in there, but there's something else too.
Chocolate milk.
Not chocolate.
They say that's the best for after regular
coconut
milk?
Milk is the best thing to drink to rehydrate yourself.
Really?
Because what they say is this. What you want is you want a drink that has a little bit of sugar, a little bit of fat, and a little bit of protein. Because what happens is the water immediately goes through your body. You have water in the milk, but the fat and the protein and the what did I just say? The fat and the protein and the sugar stay in your system longer. So they hydrate longer. The glass goes right through you, but the milk stays with you and it produces hydrating effects longer. And I will tell you something odd.
I love milk.
This weekend when I came home from playing golf, I was like, I'd consumed all of that water. And for some reason, I had the urge, because I looked in there and we had half a gallon, which we really don't ever buy, of 2% milk. But we found a deal on cereal, so we bought some milk. Jack Bradshaw.
Thank you.
And I turned that milk up and drank right from the carton, right out of the fridge, and I couldn't stop drinking it. There was something magical of the effect it had on my body, and I was like, wow, this is weird. Like, milk is thick, or even with the 2%, it's obviously thicker than water,
right?
And you're drinking it, but yet it felt amazing. And I was like, man, I don't drink enough milk. But yeah, milk, they say, is the best thing to do to keep yourself hydrated. Now, I mean, of course, I wouldn't suggest taking any on the golf course.
Yeah,
running out with you like that.
Don't throw it in a Camelback.
No. But yeah, that's the deal. This is a study from Scotland's St. Andrews University compared hydration responses of a few drinks. And of course, Pedialyte, I think, and Gatorade and all the sports drinks, they were included in there. But milk is more hydrating than water. It's because of its nutrient composition.
Have to make sure you always have some on hand in the summertime.
Yeah.
Because remember when Daryl and Penny Payne, when they were in last week for Animal House, he talked about how hot it was in Europe, that they got out just in time. Apparently in Italy, they won't let you go. They're like, you're in lockdown. He said that you're
For the heat?
Yeah,
for the heat. They make you stay in your hotel room until like after 6 p.m. and then you can come out.
It said, for example, here, milk was proven to be more hydrating than plain water because it contains sugar, lactose, some protein, and some fat, all of which helps slow the emptying of fluid from the stomach and keep hydration happening over a longer period of time.
So there you have it.
And it also has a little sodium in it as well, so you also get the idea of losing the salt or electrolytes as well. Interesting stuff, man.
I mean, I'm not denying that, but I cannot, like, after a run, I cannot tell you how badly I would not want a glass of milk.
Buddy, I got to tell you, though, it's weird. Deborah said it right. I was told years ago when I was training a lot, the best thing you could possibly drink after a hard workout is chocolate milk for that very reason, for the protein, the fat, and I guess the hydrating aspect of it.
Who doesn't love chocolate milk?
Yeah.
I'm a smoothie guy.
All right, 407-916.
And a bath bomb guy.
Back in a sec with more of the Jim Colbert Show.
Real Radio and Carl Black Chevrolet want to send you and a friend to Nashville for a fun-filled weekend and tickets to see Luke Bryan. Register to win now at realradio.fm/contests.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. goldsmithjewelry.com.
Looking at heavy delays on I-4 this afternoon in the Orlando area as you travel east and westbound through downtown, as well as by the major attractions exits. Be on the lookout for a crash blocking 2 northbound lanes on John Young Parkway between Osceola Parkway and Hunters Creek Boulevard. Another crash blocks a southbound right lane on the Turnpike just before the Greenway exit. If you see traffic problems, call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Wawa. Wawa's new rechargers are energy drinks for everyday doers. Whether you're going out or staying in, power through your day with a new handcrafted iced or frozen Wawa recharger. Gotta have a Wawa.
Hey everybody, Jim Colbert here. My friends over at the Filatowski Eye Institute. Your eyes are definitely the window to your world. That's why you have to treat them right. And let me tell you something. It doesn't matter how old you are. My son at like 17, 18 years old started kind of having some real trouble with his eyesight, super blurry, couldn't focus. And of course, my father-in-law in his late 50s started having the same exact experience. It doesn't understand the idea of age. When your eyes go, they just go. But here's the great thing. You have a weapon in your quiver. The Filatowski Eye Institute not only has the experience, they also have the great equipment to make sure that you can have another look at life. And that's exactly what it is, without question. When you get this surgery, you go from like blurry vision to crystal clear vision. How long does that take? Not long at all. The entire surgery is only a few minutes long, and you're pretty much back to work the very next day. That's what happens with most of Filatowski's Institute's patients. They're back to work the very next day. They have the state-of-the-art LASIK tech, 65,000 of these surgeries under their belt. Start seeing the way you were meant to with crystal clear vision, courtesy of the Filatowski Eye Institute. By the way, the facility is beautiful, and the people who work there are awesome as well. Contact these guys simply by texting 1041 to 868686. Schedule that consultation today. These guys even offer 24-month interest-free financing to qualified patients. Schedule your appointment simply by texting 1041 to the number 868686. Guys, it's the Filatowski Eye Institute, the only choice for LASIK vision correction.
Baby boomers and retirees, protect yourself from the coming tidal wave of higher taxes. This administration's spend and tax schemes, along with their failed economic policies, are only going to add more to the taxes already being taken of your retirement savings. You can gain retirement tax protection from national talk show wealth strategist and best-selling author Chuck Oliver of The Hidden Wealth Solution. Learn how you can get a head start to be retirement tax smart. Imagine learning proven solutions, saving thousands in unnecessary taxes. Visit retirementprotected.com. Retirementprotected.com.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeart Media can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else. And we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeart Media can work for you. From your cell, dial pound 250 and say keyword great results. That's pound 250 and say great results.
Ow. Okay, it's all right. Let's just start over. And one, and oh!
Ballroom dancing is a lot like saving for retirement.
Okay, class. Switch up partners.
Oh, thank goodness.
It's way easier with someone who knows the right moves. With Fairwinds Credit Union as your dance partner, you can glide into financial freedom by saving more and planning for your future. Visit fairwinds.org/together and become a member today. Fairwinds. Financial freedom happens here. Federally insured by NCUA.
What's the Anajar Levine difference? When you're injured in a car crash, we focus on your case so you can focus on the one thing that matters most. Getting better. I'm Glenn Levine with Anajar Levine. We'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call our legal team right now for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. We'll help you take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In Office Orlando.
Try new extra charge Dunkin' Refreshers with 50% more caffeine. Yes, 50% more caffeine. Available for a limited time, so try it today. America runs on Dunkin'. Drinks are fruit flavored. Contain 0 to 1% fruit juice. Price and participation may vary.
Attention business owners. Was your company impacted during COVID? If you had W-2 employees during 2020 and 2021, you may be entitled for up to $26,000 per employee through the Employee Retention Credit Program. This is not alone. The IRS paid back billions already. We've helped thousands of businesses just like yours. So let us help you. At ERC Business Solutions, we make it simple. We do it all for you, so you won't have to worry about the complex application process. There's absolutely no risk. If you don't get paid, we don't get paid. Most businesses do qualify, even those with no decline in revenues or those that already got PPP. Discover how much you can claim. There's no cost or obligation. Call now. 800-375-1175. That's 800-375-1175. Get up to $26,000 per employee. Call 800-375-1175. 800-375-1175.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
At Morgan & Morgan, the fee is free. You don't pay us anything unless we win your case.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because clients and character matter. Contact them at whenyounneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeart Radio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. The Jim Colbert Show returns now on Real Radio 104.1.
Climate change is a hoax. God is in control. My goodness. Have a nice day.
Okay. That's a warm take.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing.
I say the same thing on I-4. I let go of the wheel.
Here's the
Yeah, there you go.
Here's how I would say that, right? I would say you can't say it's a hoax because there's no question things are changing.
Yeah.
You know, how you think or what you think is causing the change is where you need to focus your energy, because to say that climate change is a hoax sounds silly. And I love you, brother, and I appreciate your phone call. I really do. But the fact is, it is changing. I don't think anybody won't admit that. Even hardcore Republicans admit the climate is changing. The argument isn't that it's changing. The argument is why it's changing. Is it human related, or is it just a natural cycle of Earth? Because we've had hot runs like this in the 30s before. Some of the hottest temperatures ever recorded until now were in the 30s. I think 34, 35, and 36. There are places like Cleveland that were having 110-degree days. So that's what you have to argue, my friend. Not that there's not a change. There is no hoax. It is definitely changing. The water off Florida being 100 degrees is not a hoax. You can dip a thermometer in there and see it's hot, and it's not done that before. So there's no hoax. Whether you want to believe, the hoax part for you would be if it's human related or not.
But
there you go.
To give it to God absolves each and every one of us of any responsibility.
Yeah, I guess.
God is in control. That means we are not, need to take any action.
And
here.
God's up there going, yo, I gave you guys, you took
How
your
many
free
warnings
will.
did you want?
Exactly. You've got your free will. You do with it as you will. You leave me out of it.
As if Pence isn't struggling enough. He did not make the debate, right? The first debate. He did not qualify. He comes out, I think, the other day and says he would abolish the EPA. Like he would wipe that out completely. And here's the thing. I mean,
the Supreme Court gutted it enough.
Right. Again, whether you believe in certain things or not, that's one thing. But you can't say that chemical companies like DuPont and other companies haven't caused great damage to our ecosystems across the globe, not necessarily even just here in the U.S. I mean, China and India are two of the worst offenders in all of what we do to this planet. I mean, you can't say it doesn't have a detrimental effect. You can't say that pouring raw sewage or chemical byproducts into our water systems is good for our country. I don't care what belief you have or what party you're part of. Common sense will tell you, if you take chemical products from the making of plastics and other chemicals and you dispose of those in the aquifer, it's going to be bad for everybody. We just talked about that with this I-4 dioxane thing up in Seminole County. It happens. I mean, again, it's not a political party issue. It's a common sense issue.
It's a human.
If you don't believe it, start dumping stuff in your own water source. But I bet you probably won't do that. You don't drink Windex every day, do you? You understand that it's bad for you. And if you mix that in with your drinking water, it's going to be bad for you. So it's not, again, I don't like the idea of politicizing things like this, but the fact is the climate is changing. It is hotter. Will it be cool next year? Who knows? The scientists, by the way, in 1980s and 70s predicted what is happening right now. And all it takes is a small Google search to go and find out that the scientists that started studying this in the 70s and 80s predicted exactly where we're going to be and where we are right now if there were no changes. So regardless of how you feel about it or what you think caused it, it is happening. You just have to figure out what you think causes it.
And over that, there has been a political battle for the past 40 years since that has come out. However, on one side, if you make the efforts to convert to a more renewable, eco-friendly, sustaining, economy, then it was a little painful for a transition into getting to a place that has long sustainability. The alternate path, the one we followed, you hesitate, you block, you prevent things from changing, you keep the status quo as long as possible, and now you are dealing with a system that is becoming a bit warm.
And by the way, we've done this over and over as humans. We have dealt with obsolete technology and obsolete ideals our entire existence. Right?
You mean like old technologies that we have to shed and move off of?
Yes, 100%. Because at one point there was a guy making typewriters and he was really rich.
Yeah.
And then that guy's business overnight became obsolete. Typewriters were worthless. And now they sit in museums. The same thing with rotary phones. The same things. I could go on and on about things that have become obsolete because better technology or better ideas made them that way. And it doesn't mean that there is not going to be fallout. We see that all the time. People who made those machines and worked in those factories lost their jobs. They had to retool and go somewhere else. The thing is, you're dealing with something very big. Our entire economy, and I think the globe's entire economy, is built on fossil fuels. And when you say you have to stop burning fossil fuels, it doesn't take a scientist to figure out that's going to cause some massive economic issues. If you don't do it in stages, it could be a big problem. It would be a big problem. Tens of thousands, millions of jobs lost.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is how you kind of transfer into that. And, again, I guess you could say it had this started 40 years ago, where would it be now? But who knows?
It's interesting to hear you say that it's not a hoax and that whatever you argue past that is just the cause of global warming. And I'm here to tell you that is still not where that debate is, at least the times that I've had it with people. It's not whether or not it's what's causing it. A lot of people think it's not true, and the amount of damage that could inevitably cause when no one's even on board with the thought that it is getting warm. Yeah. Listen to that talkback. God's got us.
Yeah.
And that's also talkbacks like that give me the little side eye towards religion.
Yeah.
It's stuff like that makes me go, woof, wow, yikes. I guess saving the planet isn't making enough money.
And what's most despicable about this and just in politics, when the knowing misdirection for personal benefit for a political party, a system, or a candidate, where that narrative helps them, and so that's what they put forth, and people will follow it. And whether it's the big lie, according to CNN, or, just putting forth these false narratives that people believe and people follow, and then that idea continues to churn in their head, and you deal with the repercussion for years to come.
Yeah. It's like, I'll give you an idea. Rudy Giuliani just admitted that he knew what he was saying about the Georgia elections was lies. He knew it.
Did he?
Yeah, knew it.
Yeah.
Said it right up front. He knew it. This happens all the time. And Jack is 1,000% right. And you talk about the weaponization of anything. I mean, the weaponization of the truth is a very unique thing to have to kind of campaign against. And the problem is the person saying it is incredibly believable, or they have gotten so much trust from the constituency that anything they say.
We could say that politics is a lot like entertainment, right? I think, isn't that like an old adage?
I've not heard that, but it is. I mean, it's show. There's no question.
There's a lot of show. There's a lot of show.
Yeah, and again, this goes back to what we said about Fox News for years. Way before we found out that Fox News was lying to their audience over and over and over, and they knew behind the scenes they were lying over and over. I'd been telling people that for 5 years.
Yeah.
But that's exactly what we're talking about.
And
I mean, those people know, and they still know, by the way, and they still do it, by the way.
Yeah.
They know they're lying to you. They know they're pushing something that isn't true, because that's what the people who watch the channel want to see.
Yeah.
They want to be lied to like that. They want to continue that narrative.
But you were talking about, what I was trying to say was that politics are so much like a show, and we do so many shows. I just did a bunch of shows live with audiences in front of me, right? And the reason I bring that up is that it's about likability.
Yeah, that's 100% right.
Like, I don't think anybody can really look at policies of the last handful of presidents and go, that's why I voted.
What, likability?
I think more times
only
than
policy,
not,
I
I like that guy because he pisses off the people who I don't like.
That's exactly the case. Matter of fact, there's a story out today. I glanced it today, and what you're saying is 100% true. And what we've learned in the corporate world, by the way, because I've been saying this for a couple years as well, is it's not your education, it's not the car you drive, it's not the clothes you wear, it's not how you do your hair, it's not your watch, it's not any of that. Do the people who work with you like you? That is the number one attribute in the corporate world right now. Do they like you? Because there are a lot of people that have that skill set, that wear that same watch, that have that suit, but do they like you? Do you like them?
I once was told, my friend who's in a band, he said, I wasn't looking for the best drummer. I wasn't looking for the best bassist or guitarist. I was looking for the people that I wouldn't mind being in a car ride with for 10 hours.
Right, exactly.
I didn't really care how they played.
Right,
Are they a good hang?
Right.
407 Here are some gigs.
916-1041. Text us at 77031. And an interesting side note, and I'll just take this top text and I'll give you an idea how this happens. It's kind of interesting. Now, Al Gore is Al Gore. He is what he is, whatever. Al Gore was telling us about this while he was creating the World Wide Web. So ignoring what Al Gore had said about the environment and what was coming, and what was an inconvenient truth?
Yeah,
correct.
Right, in that movie. And goes back to the one statement that he said erroneously about creating the World Wide Web. So that's the unique nature in which you deal with things. Is like you take something, you go, wow, this guy made a 2-hour movie, did all this research, and it looks like it's pretty darn accurate.
Yeah.
And what are you going to focus on?
Yeah.
The fact that Al Gore at one point said he created the World Wide Web, or made it alluded to the fact that he had something to do with the creation of the World Wide Web, which is not even relevant to what other things that he did in regards to that one subject.
He had a long, creepy kiss with his wife at the convention. We can't listen to him.
All right, 407 911. It is truly stultifying, considering what we see on the news today, every day, about a former president, to have that attitude about anything or any other politician, considering the overwhelming evidence of what has happened since 2016, is genuinely amazing to me. As a voting Republican, genuinely amazing. By the way, there are finally some other ranking Republicans that are starting to kind of feel the same way and make their voice known, which is great to hear, by the way. 407-916-1041. Brandon Kravitz with sports up next.
Something on your mind? Text us at 77031. Standard data and message rates apply. Real Mobile is powered by Orange Buick GMC and OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
Looking at heavy delays on I-4 this afternoon in the Orlando area as you travel east and westbound through downtown, as well as by the major attractions exits. Be on the lookout for a crash blocking 2 northbound lanes on John Young Parkway between Osceola Parkway and Hunters Creek Boulevard. Another crash blocks a southbound right lane on the Turnpike just before the Greenway exit. If you see traffic problems, call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Wawa. Wawa's new rechargers are energy drinks for everyday doers. Whether you're going out or staying in, power through your day with a new handcrafted iced or frozen Wawa recharger. Gotta have a Wawa.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival is coming back to Las Vegas.
September 22nd and 23rd at T-Mobile Arena.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
And starting next Monday, you can win your way there.
Plus $1,000 spending cash.
Yeah.
Brought to you by T-Mobile. Experience more of the music you love with the record-setting 5G network. T-Mobile customers can unlock VIP benefits at the festival all weekend long. It's better over here. See why at T-Mobile.com/SEEWHY.
In this week's Marketers Report, we learn about the value of local influencers in uncertain times from Allison Griffin, head of marketing at State Farm.
The economy is tough for everyone, and taking a step back and understanding the pain that your customers are currently going through because of a tough environment is really important. We have 19,000 agents across the country, and they understand what's going on in those very unique communities. iHeart has such a broad broadcast reach that is local, connected, and for us to be able to touch customers with a local feel but at a national scale is so efficient and important for us.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to all, from national to local. Every audience, live conversations, trusted influencers, and the insights and data you need to grow. Not just a media company, iHeartMedia is your access company. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
I'm a multitasker, so when I drive, I also put on my makeup, drink my latte. Whoa! Smoke the rest of this. Text with my boo. If I do get into an accident, it'll be your fault, because everyone knows I'm the best multitasker.
What's up, lady?
Ew, they came out of nowhere.
If you or anyone in your family has been injured, call Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. We've collected over $15 billion for our clients. It's easy. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Check it out.
You lifted your car?
Yep. Refinanced my auto loan with Navy Federal Credit Union. Put the money I saved towards an 18-inch lift kit. Pretty sweet, huh?
It's a minivan.
Well, now it's a mega van.
Dad, I can't get down.
At Navy Federal Credit Union, we're here to help our members save toward their goals. Whatever they may be. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission.
If you're a pro painter, do you know how much you're paying per gallon for paint? Paint stores try to convince you that you're getting a good deal with deep discounts. But what they don't tell you is their starting price is too high to begin with. If you buy paint from the Home Depot, you're getting the lowest price per gallon on Behr paint, guaranteed. We offer everyday low prices on every gallon of top-rated Behr paints, stains, and primers. Plus, pros earn discounts through our Pro Extra Paint Rewards program. That's the value of the Home Depot. How doers get more done. U.S. only. See store for details.
Having your home damaged in a storm can leave you and your family feeling like you've lost control. I'm Mark Anajar from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. Understanding your rights and what your homeowner's policy covers is important. Our team of storm loss attorneys are ready to help you pick up the pieces. If your property has been damaged in a storm, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Office in Orlando.
There are more identity threats than you realize. Even if you monitor your credit, only a little personal info needs to leak out, like your social security number or password.
Or you become a victim.
LifeLock alerts you to threats you could miss. If your identity is stolen, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions, but everyone can save up to 25% off their first year with promo code NEWS. Go to LifeLock.com.
You know that expression, the grass is always greener on the other side? Well, with Massey Services, it's literally true. Why? Because Massey does what the others don't. Every lawn is unique, so Massey starts with a detailed analysis and then builds a customized plan to prevent and control weeds, diseases, and harmful pests. Then they aerate to ensure water and nutrients reach the roots of your lawn. That's the Massey difference. Expect more and get it.
This is Steve Kramer. Let me tell you a business secret. There are sketch companies out there selling awards. Make sure the awards earned by your lawyer are from respected organizations. At Trendley Kramer Law, our lawyers have been recognized by Orlando Magazine Best Lawyers, Florida Trend Legal Elite, Super Lawyers, and listed in U.S. News as a best law firm for years. We've earned the awards that can't be bought. Trendley Kramer, TK Law, one firm for life.com.
The podcast Journalista tells the improbable life story of Courtney Cookie Hood. Follow Cookie's adventures from working for CBS News in Managua during the Nicaraguan Civil War to blowing the lid off the Iran-Contra scandal and almost taking down the Reagan presidency.
They're assuming that I know what I'm doing, that I'm a journalist. I wasn't. I was being thrown into the Coliseum to the lions. I had not a clue.
Listen to Journalista on the iHeart Radio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This hour of programming brought to you in part by FAS Windows and Doors.
You can watch radio being made on a daily basis. Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show on this stormy Monday afternoon. Hope you're safe out there. Take cover. All right, welcome back. I'm Jim. Dev is here.
Hello.
Jack is here.
Hi there.
Ross is here.
Let's get it.
And every single Monday at this time right now, we invite our good friend over from 96.9 The Game. He talks sports from 3 until 6 every single day. Good and loud for our man, Brandon Kravitz.
Yay! He's never offside.
You all are the best. Love the sports reference off there in the corner.
What about the bank heist montage music? Did you like that?
This could be like my theme song here.
I guess you didn't know.
This is what we robbed the Bellagio to.
Exactly, right. All we need is a small Asian guy to backflip onto the safe.
Absolutely.
And
That's what I was going to say.
Right, exactly. So what's going on, man?
Just completed the last week of 2023 without any football, so feeling pretty good. I watched
What's that in the air?
I can smell the pigskin.
Is that pig?
This Thursday night, we have a terrible football game, but it's like football's like pizza. Even bad pizza is still pretty good.
Yeah.
That's football.
Still manageable.
Hall of Fame game, Jets versus Browns. See Zach Wilson slinging it out there. He's the backup now for the Jets. This is a guy they drafted second overall all the way back in 2021. They've moved off of that experiment, and now, of course, they're going to roll with Aaron Rodgers. You won't see a sniff of Aaron Rodgers throughout the preseason would be my guess. He didn't play a lot of preseason football with the Packers, but all's good in my life. I have taken all of the trips and excursions that I need to feel like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to be heard again. I'm ready to be entertained.
Very nice. Yeah. You could hear the impact of Zach's helmet in the locker room the minute they signed Rodgers, huh?
Yeah.
Now, I bet he probably threw about a 90-mile-an-hour one right against the wall there. Because if they had drafted me second in 2021 and then they hire Rodgers, I would be out of my ever-loving mind.
Yeah, well, you got to look at your own stat sheet and say that, this has not gone well for me. So I can understand where they're coming from.
All right, let's start off with some soccer, man. Let's start off with a couple things. Orlando City had a pretty big week this week, and, of course, the U.S. women's team is playing as well.
Orlando City taking down the Mexican side of Santos Laguna. With a couple of our friends over here in attendance, of course. 3-2 final score.
I like that. Some scoring in a soccer match is great.
Yeah. Stoppage time winner. Little fun fact, I gambled, said that Orlando City was going to score 2 goals. When they scored 2 goals, I felt it. I said, well, let's gamble a little bit more, see if we can score a third. So they scored the 3rd goal in stoppage time. My bet hit. We win the game. Ross is happy.
Really? How much you pull down, dog?
We started off with 50. We're walking away with 120.
Nice.
So
that's a nice little take.
Hey, that's fine. And I
Well
spent
done.
all of it on White Claws.
Very good.
Easy to do at any sporting stadium.
Yeah, man.
Well, that is one thing that I've noticed with Orlando City, and this is pretty obvious analysis, but they're solid defensively, and Pedro Galese is as good a goalkeeper as you could ask for. When Orlando City scores, when their offense is on, they win. I mean, it's a pretty simple equation for them that when they're able to get that ball in the net, when they're in low-scoring games, that's when they get in trouble. But when they're able to, when they're that sort of back and forth,
it's like a vibe almost, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. When they get into a shootout, they're good in those environments. There are always those teams in sports. High-scoring affair might favor them. Orlando City appears to be one of those teams. They're really good in these moments. They've had a great season, and of course this is separate from the MLS season. This is the Leagues Cup, but and the soccer world is in North America is having a lot of fun with this. Wednesday, a big reason why, Lionel Messi has been lighting up the scoreboard early on in his time with Inter Miami.
3 goals in like 2 games, right?
2 assists as well.
He's already one of the leading scorers in their franchise history.
That's
insane. Not an exaggeration.
It's so insane.
And Orlando City plays them on Wednesday night. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. That, unfortunately, is not in our backyard because that would have been a really fun ticket to get your hands on. You'd have to drive down to Miami or Fort Lauderdale. Sorry, guys.
Thank you.
To watch this one in person. But Orlando City versus Messi, you're going to get that. Do we have a specific? Do we have a kickoff time yet, Jack?
We do not. I'm looking for it right now.
Well,
That
it'll
will
be
air
after 7.
That will air on 96.9 The Game.
Also, I think it's
Messi on our airwaves for the first time ever. That's pretty cool.
It's going to be wild. Worth noting, the player who scored our game winner stoppage time, I believe he's 18 years old, or he's just turned 19. Total stud. He came in this season. This is his first year with us. You play that well, that amount of times at that age, you start thinking like, yo, what team is going to find this kid?
Where are we in the East right now?
Well, so things have stopped, but I think Orlando City's right around like 4 or 5.
Okay, good. So we're
But this isn't MLS. This is a whole different competition for a month.
It's MLS versus the Mexican League.
Got it. Yeah.
Liga MX.
My
right?
man.
All right. Yeah.
And game time is still to be determined for Wednesday.
All right.
Is Santos Laguna? I'm barely hanging on by a thread when it comes to American soccer, so please forgive me if I don't have the full breakdown of the Mexican League.
And you're not alone because
But is this club that Orlando City just beat not any good? Because they lost to Houston too.
Yeah, honestly, I made that bet because about 10 minutes in, I was like, man, their defense looks leaky. They looked threatening on the offensive front, but defensively, they were leaky that entire game. I don't know where they stand in their league, but it's just really cool to be playing international teams, and I think that's the foundation of why Leagues Cup is happening, because it was awesome to see a different team in North America in Orlando. Yeah. It was awesome.
I think this is a cooler tournament than even the U.S. Open Cup, which Orlando City won last year.
Right.
Just the concept of it.
All right, cool.
It's hard to grasp, there being so many different tournaments to pay attention to.
It is so difficult. But I mean, every time you come in there like, City win, I'm like, hell yeah, we're killing MLS. I'm like, no, it wasn't an MLS. And I just like, okay, what was it this time? And who do we lose? And who goes away for 6 months? And who comes back? And
so now we are in the 32 team knockout stage of the League Cup, and Orlando City has already proven that we're capable of winning tournaments. And I just want to set the stage for every Orlando City fan, anybody who lives in Central Florida. Messi versus Orlando City, we could be the first team to beat this team.
Oh, man.
If Orlando City beats Miami Wednesday, the amount of global recognition that Orlando City will obtain as all those headlines around the planet saying Messi loses to who? Orlando City. It would be a massive victory if they pull this off on Wednesday.
And then the commissioner of MLS, Don Garber, will hold up a red card to Orlando City. No, sir. We will have Messi advancing on Apple TV, not you.
You're
Thank
banned.
you.
You're banned.
Legit, Wednesday, it's Orlando City versus the world.
Yeah.
And I can't wait.
All right, so U.S. women's team?
Yes, they drew against the Dutch several days ago. They've got another opportunity at it tomorrow. They take on Portugal, and it's pretty simple. Win and you're through. lose and things get a little bit more hairy. A loss and they find themselves in sort of a precarious position. A subsequent win or draw from the Netherlands and the United States would be eliminated.
Wow.
So that's it. I don't think that they've ever lost to Portugal, so this isn't you just got to go out and play well.
Defending champs too, right?
U.S. women's team?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're expected to kind of
And that's why that last game was so big. They played the Netherlands in the final 4 years ago, and so this was the rematch. That was a big match for them, for both sides, but definitely for the Netherlands, trying to get one back on the United States.
Yeah.
So they'll have their opportunity tomorrow. I think kickoff is right when we go on the air at 3 o'clock, so that'll be fun to watch as we're perusing the airwaves.
Let's check that out for sure. Also, let's move on to baseball. Not a whole lot to talk about this time of year, but there is some interesting stuff happening. Trade deadline tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay, trade
That's
deadline
also
tomorrow.
going to happen during our show.
Right, exactly.
I'm sure you guys will be breaking it down hardcore right at 4 o'clock.
For sure thing. So trade deadline in baseball tomorrow. The only story really that I know of, I know that Scherzer getting traded was a big deal.
Scherzer is traded from the Mets to the Rangers. The Mets appear to be going into a quiet fire sale mode because they realized they spent a bunch of money that was bad money, and they're not going anywhere. And what was the other one? So he ends up going to the Rangers. The Rangers going all in. The American League is stacked right now with a bunch of really good teams. The Rays actually just made a trade for a really good pitcher from the Guardians. His name's Aaron Savali. So that's a guy they're trying to help bolster their bullpen and rotation as they figure things out. They lost 2 starting pitchers early in the season. It kind of got swept under the rug a little bit because they had that hot start. But now things kind of unraveling for the Rays. They had a terrible month of July.
Yeah, terrible.
And now they're in second place to the Baltimore Orioles.
Right.
Who just beat the Yankees last night on national TV.
Yeah.
So that was fun to watch. 7-0 in the first inning, Jack.
That's luck.
That was great. But yeah,
I'm glad I don't get ESPN.
The biggest bit of news in regards to any of this is the fact that the LA Angels chose to take Shohei Ohtani's name off the block. They stopped fielding phone calls, and and not just taking him off the block. They also then turned around and got aggressive in the trade market, and they picked up some starting pitching. They picked up a couple of outfielders from Colorado, and all of a sudden they're trying to kind of show Shohei Ohtani we're serious about winning. This is, to call him a generational talent, it doesn't even really do it justice. There's no one in the history of baseball, including Babe Ruth, that has ever done what Shohei Ohtani is doing right now. He is legitimately one of the best pitchers in baseball, and he is probably the best hitter in baseball, and he's great at running the bases. He does all of these things at a supremely high level. When Babe Ruth, you have to go back to the early 1900s, so in comparing the level of skill in the game, I mean, obviously it's night and day, but even if you were to just go apples to apples, Babe Ruth was a pitcher for the Boston Red Sox who would occasionally bat. When he went to the Yankees, he never pitched again. He was a batter. And the Yankees Babe Ruth is the one that's iconic and legendary. Shohei Ohtani's doing it right now at the exact same time. He's like the best player on your 12-year-old son's Little League baseball team that's just crushing everyone and everything.
Yeah.
Shohei Ohtani's doing that at a Major League Baseball level. And the Angels said flat out, we're not going to be the team that trades this guy. We're not going to be the Boston Red Sox from 1920.
Right, yeah.
Where our franchise ends up cursed for 100 years because we just traded the greatest player in the history of the game. And I don't think it's hyperbole to say that. He's the greatest baseball player we've ever seen.
He's the biggest threat I've ever seen with a glove on and at the plate. I've never, you talk about great hitters. I mean, you watch people pitch around Bonds and Tony Gwynn and a bunch of other really good hitters. These are hitters. This guy, theoretically, you could put this guy on base every time and nobody would say that, nobody would ever go, that's a bad play. By just walking him every single time he comes to the plate. That dude is a threat to hit it out of your park every time he steps up. And it doesn't matter who against. And then on top of that, he could go over and strike the side out. I've never seen anything like it.
There isn't anything like it. There's nothing to compare it to.
I've never seen anything like it ever. I mean, I was just talking to you the other day about the best hitting baseball pitching staffs of all time. You got to go back to the 90s Braves, I believe. Those guys were pretty darn good. Greg Maddux and John Smoltz and Tom Glavine had like an internal little contest between the three of them to get better as a hitter. And because they didn't have there was no
DH.
DH in the National League, so they had to hit. So they're like, well, if we're going to hit, let's get good at it. So they had this little thing going, and they were pretty darn good at it. A couple of those guys hit them out. I mean, they did. They had home runs. But let me tell you something, man. There is nothing like this cat. This cat is...
Just go back to last Thursday. What he did last Thursday, it exemplifies exactly what we're talking about.
Disgusting.
He went out on a doubleheader against the Tigers. The Tigers aren't good, but who cares? They're still a baseball team. He went
They're
out.
still a Major League Baseball team.
He pitched 9 innings, which even in today's day and age is uncommon. He shut them out, and then they played 30 minutes later.
One hit shutout.
Yeah.
A one-hit shutout.
And then he hit 2 home runs in the next game.
Yeah.
He scored 3 runs and shut down the Tigers in one day. The Tigers scored 4 runs total that day as a team. He scored 3 runs and shut them down. That's one guy. That's unheard of. So that's why I applaud the Angels, who could have gotten whatever in the world they wanted for him. They said, we're not going to be the team that trades him. And he becomes a free agent. So the reason why this is even a discussion right now, because you might be thinking out there listening to this going, why would you ever even think about trading this player? He becomes a free agent at the end of the year. And he can go and sign wherever he wants. And it could be the Angels, or it could be the Cubs, or it could be the Yankees, the Dodgers. And so this is their opportunity. If he's going to walk out the door, we can cash in on this incredible talent and get whatever we want. We could get your entire farm system for this guy. But they chose not to do that. And they're going to try, like hell, to sign him at the end of the year, which is exactly the move that they should make. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But at least as an owner or a general manager, you could look at your fans in the face and say, we tried to keep this guy.
Right.
I wouldn't want to look at them and go, yeah, but we got this third baseman who's 19. He might be good in 5 years.
I always go back to the Shaquille thing, man. I just always go back to that. You know, when that owner says, oh, nobody's worth that kind of money. And then, of course, he's worth that much more. Actually, he was worth way more than what they were offering. So every time I hear something like this, I just think Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
Shaquille O'Neal. What happens if he stays in Orlando and doesn't go to L.A.? What happens then?
And isn't it crazy, too, and how much and this inflation and the
starters get $20 million a year in the NBA now. And this guy is again, you're talking about a generational player, Shaquille O'Neal. Nobody had ever seen anything like it.
Did you hear any numbers about Ohtani's possible contract?
700 million, 650, 700 million for what?
It would start at 600
for 8-10 years, something like that. They'd wrap him up for a while. They wouldn't want him.
It would be in that range.
There you go.
Almost a decade.
60 to 70 million a year, buddy.
Oh yeah.
And he humble, nice guy, good guy, good kid.
And if he stays healthy, as crazy as it sounds, he'd be underpaid.
Let's get some real early Super Bowl predictions from you, my friend.
I'm honestly, I haven't done it yet.
Are you watching Quarterback on Netflix?
I watched episode 1. It was tremendous.
I've heard it's great.
I watched episode 1 last night.
I heard the Kirk Cousins episode is the only one that's like, you're going to want to watch that again.
Yeah, because he's
like hilarious.
Somebody has to remind him he's an NFL quarterback, right?
Yeah.
Like that guy's completely checked out. He has his entire different life, steps into the stadium as a quarterback, leaves as Kirk Cousins, didn't even know some of the rumors that were out there about him. No clue.
He had a controversial run there in 2020 with all the vaccination stuff. He's highly religious, really anti-vax. And I think was painted as a villain. Well, I know he was because of all of that stuff. He's a really likable guy.
Oh, yeah.
That's one thing I've picked up. All of them are. Mahomes, Mariota, Cousins. And they had a really hard time getting multiple players to sign on for season 2. But I just saw, I'm not 100% sure if this is accurate, but it looked like it was from Peter King, who's pretty credible, that Joe Burrow's on for season 2. It's going to be tremendous. Tremendous.
Something like Joe Nasty? Is that what they call him?
Joe Cool.
Joe Cool?
Yeah.
There's something else nasty. Isn't there a nasty they use in his name? No?
You
so
could
cool.
start.
There's so many nicknames for cool people.
There's so many nicknames for that's the line of the show right there. I'll have a next Monday. I'll prepare.
All right, very good.
A Super Bowl prediction for you.
All right,
I'm still trying to lock down who I'm going to bet on the Hall of Fame game. So
don't do that, buddy. Don't do it. All right, you guys give it up good and loud, Mr. Brandon Kravitz. That was very lackluster, guys, but that's...
it was better at the beginning than at the end, so clearly we sucked a lot of energy out of the room there. Hopefully we can get that back.
All right, we'll see you next Monday. Have a good weekend. All right, 407-916-1041. Back in a sec with more of the Jim Colbert Show.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7. It's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by Gringos Locos and SecuredRoofingAndRestoration.com. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James, Miguel, Mike, and Ken. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
Hi, everybody. Good Monday to you. Jamie King, Fox 35 Storm Center. Want to update you Central Florida weather for the remainder of your Monday. Hot, humid, summertime, 93 the peak today. Rain chances start to move on up as we get into the afternoon hours here for you after 2 to 3 p.m. Showers and storms on the rise. Coverage at 70%. As we take a look at tonight, rain wraps up as we head toward about 9 p.m. Lows to 76. Rain chance tomorrow at 60%. 92 your high Tuesday. For Fox 35, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jamie King.
This report is sponsored by Walt Disney World Jobs.
Walt Disney World Resort is hiring. Explore a variety of full-time and part-time roles at the heart of the magic and enjoy great benefits like complimentary theme park admission, exclusive discounts, and more. Apply today at waltdisneyworld.jobs.
Man, we love the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex here on the Jim Colbert Show. Love, love, love it. One of the great reasons it's a top 10 TripAdvisor Traveler's Choice winner year after year. It's the only place you can experience the excitement of thundering rocket launches up close and see those spacecraft that are blazing the trail for tomorrow's discoveries. Take advantage of this incredible new 2-day ticket offer they have right now. Costs less than $45 per day, but offers maximum flexibility for the entire family. Guys, it's so much fun, so interactive, great for the entire family. You'll learn something, you'll be entertained, and you'll be amazed as well. It's the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. Get your tickets and learn more at KennedySpaceCenter.com.
Deciding where to bank is no small task. It's a matter of trust, confidence, and benefits. The more the merrier. At Addition Financial Credit Union, we're all about more. More challenges overcome, more financial knowledge gained, more empowering you to reach your long-term financial goals. That's because we're more than just a bank. We're your financial partner, and we'll be with you every step of the way. Count us in at AdditionFI.com. That's AdditionFI.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
Get ready to save with Spectrum One. You get Spectrum Internet delivering fast and reliable speeds for $49.99 a month. Free advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced privacy and security. And a free Spectrum mobile line with unlimited talk, text, and data, plus nationwide 5G. Go to spectrum.com/save more and use the Spectrum One savings calculator to see how much you can save today. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
There are 16 spots in the playoffs and just one track left. Well, not just any track.
We're basically going to have to win.
Daytona. A last chance to keep playoff hopes alive.
1 point to the good.
And for fans to experience an event unlike any other. NASCAR weekend at Daytona International Speedway, August 25th and 26th. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Wells Fargo lets you know where you stand with your FICO credit score. What if you knew where you stood with everything? Like your kids' friends.
Hey, boys. How do cows stay informed?
Dad, don't.
They read the Moo paper.
Mr. Otis, you're the funniest.
It's good to know where you stand. And when it comes to your FICO credit score, you can with a Wells Fargo account.
Visit wellsfargo.com/getFICO to learn more. Terms and conditions apply. FICO is a registered trademark of Fair Isaac Corporation in the United States and other countries. Wells Fargo Bank N.A., member FDIC.
When it's the hottest day of the summer. But it's the hottest day of the summer. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Baby boomers and retirees, protect yourself from the coming tidal wave of higher taxes. This administration's spend and tax schemes, along with their failed economic policies, are only going to add more to the taxes already being taken of your retirement savings. You can gain retirement tax protection from national talk show wealth strategist and best-selling author Chuck Oliver of The Hidden Wealth Solution. Learn how you can get a head start to be retirement tax smart. Imagine learning proven solutions, saving thousands in unnecessary taxes. Visit retirementprotected.com. Retirementprotected.com.
Did you do it yet? Have you opened the free iHeartRadio app and listened to this station to be entered to win $5,000? Each day you come back to listen on the iHeartRadio app is another entry for $5,000 in cash. It pays to listen on the free iHeartRadio app. Download it today.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Here's something you've never heard before.
Stop. This is Simply Safe.
Introducing 24/7 Lifeguard Protection, only from Simply Safe Home Security. Now, monitoring agents can see and speak to intruders through our new indoor camera to help stop crime in real time and for fast police response. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. Advanced Home Security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people who make things happen, like me. I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest, a product design company that makes everyday products designed smarter. I get 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more, plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases, which helps us make more smart ideas into a brilliant reality.
The Ink Business Premier Card. Learn more at chase.com/business premier. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Account subject to credit approval. Restrictions and limitations apply. Cards are issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank. Any member FDIC.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by Tools Ace Hardware.
So apparently Facebook is still a thing? Search gym members and join our group.
Good afternoon, morning, Colbert crew. And in the name of my favorite alien, Zim's pet, let's sing the Doom song. Doom, 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 doom. We're all doomed. Doom, 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 doom. We're all doomed.
That wasn't very uplifting, Big T.
Yeah, well, he's still right.
407-916-1041. Text us 77031. By the way, you can call our show about whatever you want. You can leave a talkback about whatever you want. That talkback, what you just heard, is easy to leave. Just get the iHeartRadio app, which is free. They don't bug you. They don't inundate you with email or anything like that. You get it, go to Real Radio once you get it, and you'll see that little microphone. You can send it on down the line.
Not only that, even though our keyword contest is over for the moment, listening on the iHeartRadio app can still get you in the running for $5,000.
Absolutely right.
Click on that link and let us live vicariously through you.
Please, because we can. Welcome back. I'm Jim. Deb, Jack, and Ross are here as well. You still vape, Monster Dude?
Oh, no. Yeah. Oh, I thought he was talking to me. Sorry.
You've never vaped.
Well, so
have you never taken a draw off a vape by any chance?
No,
not even one.
What is this thing on? Hello, testing.
I didn't even remember. Vape can be a cigarette too. It doesn't have to be marijuana.
Well, I'm not doing that.
Okay, I got you. Why bother?
Cigarettes.
If you're to ruin your lungs,
Come
you'll
on,
get stoned,
buddy.
right? I get it. Okay. Well, there's been some interesting developments with the. I assume you're a Juul guy.
No.
You're not.
No, I'm a Vooz guy.
You're a Vooz guy.
Which I always think must have been very funny, man. Me and Jack were just talking about
I like his take on this.
All right. Juul was dominating the vape game.
They were the game. There's no doubt. 70+% of all vape products are Juul.
And then do you remember like a year ago, something happened where they got banned for a single weekend. It felt
you're right.
like
that's right.
a weekend.
You had to go out and get a new system because of that.
Yeah, and I went with Vooz. Okay. And then I never went back to Juul because now I just got Vooz or whatever. I always think, this is my own little conspiracy theory, I think Juul people pissed off some lobbyist because there's no reason why they got banned for a weekend while all other vapes still ripped and roared.
They were the biggest target. That's why. They were trying to set an example because they were the biggest player in the game. Like if you want to...
I think kids were using Juul more than any of the others.
Sure. I mean, they had 70+% of the market. So if you're going to make an example out of somebody, you don't go to some pissant company down the street and do it. You do it with the biggest one.
But nothing changed.
Okay, it did a little bit.
Well, the one thing that changed was people stopped buying Juul products because they were like, oh, I went with Vooz that one weekend, and then I just stayed with them.
So what's the big story with vaping right now? Regardless of who it is or what it is, what's the big story?
I don't know. You're going to tell me it makes my balls smaller or something?
No, it doesn't make your balls any smaller. It's the ability to get pods they're not fruit flavored to kids, right? The big thing is like they didn't want kids getting access to this and becoming nicotine addicts at like 11 years old because that never happened in the 60s.
Which also kind of still pissed me off. Listen, I'm 34. I like mango.
Yeah. Well,
Agreed.
So listen to what they're doing here. So Juul Labs is seeking a U.S. authorization to sell a next generation vape with the ability to tell who was smoking it.
What?
And the ability to tell if you're using a pod that isn't made by Juul. How do you think they're doing that? This is actually going to be on the way, and I believe if this goes with Juul, every single vape company will have to administer this kind of technology to it. How do you think they're doing it? How do you think a Juul vape pen can tell whether or not you're old enough to be able to use it?
It tests your bone density through your lips.
It does not do that, sir.
DNA.
No.
Oh.
Children, DNA.
It's got to be something with the teeth.
It's nothing with the teeth.
You
know, this is the thing where if you look at modern technology, this makes perfect sense.
Bro, I'm gonna flip my lid if we regulate vapes more than guns.
So, buddy, okay, so get ready to flip your lid then.
Oh, Lord Almighty.
Here's what's going to happen. To verify a user's age, the proposed vape pairs with a phone app, requiring a customer to either upload their government ID and a real-time selfie or input personal information and allow a third-party database to verify their identity. So you will pair your vape pen with your phone, and your phone will have the app from Juul, and every time you plug a pod in or whatever or go to use it, it'll have to pair up with your phone, and that phone will be a verified user. In other words, if you're 14 and you have your own cell phone, you cannot, according to this, because it has your information, it knows how old you are, you will not be able to pair that phone with that particular Juul pen, and it will not work. And it can tell imposter pods as well.
See, this is what I'm talking about with my theory. Why is Juul the only company that if they do this, this will be their demise?
This is exactly what they're trying to do, and I can bet your ass, if they make Juul if Juul is successful in getting this through the legislation it takes to make it come to market, you can bet it is just one or two steps away from this being the standard, the norm for vaping.
But that's not a selling point to the product.
No, they're not. This is
they got you addicted to a drug. They don't need to sell it to you.
Right, yeah, I mean,
what they need to do is comply with regulation.
What they need to do is convince me that their addiction is better, if not as good as the one that I have with a different company. So when they throw in this little detail of like, hey, it's harder to use, it's kind of like, all right, well.
But if this is the standard, it won't matter where you go. It's going to be the same thing.
Yeah, if the government says that's the only game in town.
Okay,
right.
Is that what we're doing?
That's exactly what they're doing. That's what they're that's more than likely what's going to happen.
This whole story's been about Juul doing this, not the government doing
They're
this.
seeking U.S. authorization to sell a next-generation vape with age verification capabilities in the U.S. And you're right. This is not going to be a government thing now, I guess. They're just looking for the authorization. But you can bet if this works and it shows that it can regulate who is smoking the vapes, it'll just be a matter of time before it's a law implemented across all vaping companies. Because, I mean, when they made the rules about cigarettes, they didn't go, hey, it's just for you, Pall Mall, or it's just for you, Winston. It was across the entire cigarette-making board.
Then they could sell that technology to other competing companies.
Absolutely.
And that's why I keep going back to that one weekend where they banned it, because it wasn't like that with cigarettes. Like, hey, you can't do that, Pall Mall. But for that, 50 hours over a year ago, it was Juul and only Juul. You cannot sell stuff.
It says the mission of the new platform is twofold. According to the company, encourage adult smokers to switch from combustible cigarettes to e-cigarettes while restricting underage access. The legal age to purchase e-cigarettes right now is 21 years old. Quote, we look forward to engaging with the FDA throughout the review process while we pursue this important harm reduction opportunity. a reduction, opportunity. And that is what their chief regulatory officer said in a company news release. If approved by the USDA, Juul Labs, it says, hasn't yet decided to name the market or the product or what it will look like or sound like, or what as of right now, they're just calling it Juul 2.
Will Deb still be able to get her regular sticks?
Yeah, I think you can get regular cigs.
Yeah. I just want to make sure, we don't deprive her because I'd be scared of her.
Thank you. You should be, man. It's a real.
Juul Labs has had to settle more than 5,000 cases brought by 10,000 plaintiffs since its vaping devices skyrocketed. In what year did it become the thing?
Juul?
Yeah.
2017.
2016, right? Oh.
Plus, they were being sued by several school districts around the country.
And they had to pay, guess how much? $462 million. And they've agreed to pay more than $1 billion in various legal settlements because of this, because it proved that they were marketing those flavors to kids, basically.
But they take, like, all the arrows, they take all the hits, like Ross is saying, and then all these other companies like Vooz and others,
are excelling.
Just blow up underneath.
Yeah.
Because they're not, I don't know why the government has a thing out for Juul. I don't care about Juul. I don't have a passion really towards many companies. But I just think it's really odd that I think lunch went south with the president of Juul and some lobbyists. They splashed water and said, I'll show you. No, I'll show you.
It says Juul is now less favored brand among youth. When asked what e-cigarette brands they used in the last 30 days, youth e-cigarette users in the 2022 National Youth Tobacco Survey said Puff Bar at 29%, followed by Views. That's right, at 23%, and Juul at 22%. So what you said was right. They lost a lot of market share because of that move. And what percentage of high school students do you think use a vaping product and has been since 2018?
Just go to Puff Bar's website. Watermelon, banana ice, Cool Mint, blueberry ice, all the things that we are being told that we crack down on Juul for. The number one distributor of vapes right now to youth are doing the thing. It's just weird.
27% of high school students right now vape. Almost 1 out of 3.
And smoking was on a serious decline before that.
Yeah. But now they don't see it as smoking.
Yeah.
I don't even look at it in the sense of like, it was the flavors that got them.
Yeah.
It's because it's easy to conceal.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Back in a sec with more of the Jim Colbert Show.
Real Radio and Carl Black Chevrolet want to send you and a friend to Nashville for a fun-filled weekend and tickets to see Luke Bryan. Register to win now at realradio.fm/contests.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. goldsmithjewelry.com.
Heavy delays reported in I-4 this afternoon in the Orlando area as you take I-4 both east and westbound. Heavy thunderstorms are in the forecast for the next hour, so make sure to drive with extra caution on the roadways. Still seeing some heavy delays due to a crash reported southbound on the Turnpike near Mineola and the Oakland Exchange exit. A crash blocks the right lane on I-4 eastbound at Sand Lake. If you see traffic problems, call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Raid.
This can't keep your loved ones protected from pests, but Raid can. For 60 years, Raid scientists have worked to protect people around the world, including the ones you love most. Raid, protection for all.
You know, buying or refinancing a home can be worrisome enough, but doing it without the best people on your team can make it feel almost impossible, but it doesn't need to. Put that mortgage guy Don on your team and let him show you the broker difference. Already have a quote for your loan or refinance? Well, take it over to thatmortgageguydon.com, where Don will interpret it for you, tell you how much you're actually paying for your loan, and let you know if you can get a better deal. That means it's peace of mind at your fingertips, so don't miss the boat. Compare your quote at thatmortgageguydon.com.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with thatmortgageguydon.com.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeart Media can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else, and we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeart Media can work for you. Get started today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Rent is due and money is tight. You could A, pay a huge late fee, or B, get an AMSCOT cash advance and avoid it. AMSCOT, up to $500 fast. No credit check. Some restrictions apply, subject to approval. AMSCOT.
Disney on Ice invites you to take a journey across the night sky with Mickey and all his friends. And debuting Frozen 2 at Disney on Ice. Coming to the Amway Center September 1st through 3rd. Tickets on sale now. Visit DisneyOnIce.com for show details.
Check it out.
You lifted your car?
Yep. Refinanced my auto loan with Navy Federal Credit Union. Put the money I saved towards an 18-inch lift kit. Pretty sweet, huh?
It's a minivan.
Well, now it's a mega van.
Dad, I can't get down.
At Navy Federal Credit Union, we're here to help our members save toward their goals. Whatever they may be. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission.
Nobody wants a root canal. But if it's time, Advanced Endodontics will preserve your natural smile. Pain-free, using the latest in modern dental technology with 5 convenient Central Florida locations. An expert Advanced Endodontics team is always close by for appointments or same-day emergencies. No referrals needed. Visit INeedARootCanal.com to learn about Advanced Endodontics, easy financing, and flexible payment plans. That's INeedARootCanal.com.
Look, some choices in life are complicated. Others, thankfully, are much simpler, like choosing True as One checking. There are no overdraft fees, lots of practical perks, and when your life evolves and account balances grow, we'll upgrade your perks automatically. Truest One checking. One simple choice. Truist Bank. Member FDIC.
After an accident, it's important to hire an attorney right away. Evidence can disappear quickly. Sure, you could wait to hire an attorney later and see how things turn out, but delays never make a case better. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. JustCallMo.com. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
This wasn't how Patrick pictured himself in retirement. Instead of playing golf every day, he could barely walk because of his severe knee pain.
It hampered everything because it hurt to walk around the golf course. It hurt to swing, just pretty much hurt doing anything.
But the groundbreaking regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics changed everything for Patrick. QC Kinetics uses your body's own healing properties to help repair and restore damaged tissue in your knees, hips, back, and shoulders. No surgery, no drugs, no downtime.
The turnaround's been amazing from where I was to where I am now. I've gone from a 15 handicap down to a 7 handicap. That's because my knees allow me to play golf like I haven't been able to play probably in 15 years.
Don't let joint pain keep you from doing what you love. Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 689-244-7980. That's 689-244-7980. In Orlando, Winter Park, and the Villages, 689-244-7980.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. We recently received a call from an injured person. The insurance company had offered them $11,000. We took the case over and got more than $2 million in court. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
That's right. It's a real mess out there, Kate. We're seeing heavy congestion on the eastbound lanes of the main expressway with traffic backed up for miles.
What do traffic and debt have in common? You don't want to be in either for too long. Move into the fast lane with Fairwinds Credit Union. We'll help you set goals, save more, and be your guide to achieving financial freedom together. Visit fairwinds.org/together and become a member today. Fairwinds. Financial freedom happens here. Federally insured by NCUA.
Order your Hummer EV at orangebuickgmc.com. We are professional grade. Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Find out at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeart Radio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Obviously, this is why YouTube was created. Obviously, at Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
Good afternoon, everyone. If I remember right, when Juul was banned for that short time, there was an explosion of all other types of vapes. I mean, if you go into a smoke shop, there's a wall of every kind of flavor, possible combination you could possibly think of. So I don't know how they banned Juul when they're for marketing to kids. When if you go to a vape shop, I mean, literally, there's every flavor you could think of.
By the way, we just had a high school teacher text in and said 27%, dog, it's more like half. Half the students are vaping, not just 27%. 27% told the truth.
Well,
23 did not.
And then you also got the weed factor as well.
Yeah.
Now that it's also a delivery system for that as well.
Absolutely.
So it just makes it...
And by the way, some of those carts as well can have very fruity outputs as well, or if you taste that stuff, it tastes just like Fruity Pebbles. It tastes like candy. Like
blueberries.
Yeah, like blueberries or cotton candy that have that, yeah.
I mean, I don't... Calling it like, oh, they taste just like it. I'm like, I don't remember cotton candy making me dry heave cough because I ate too much too fast.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Welcome back. I'm Jim. Deb, Jack, and Ross are here as well. Trivia coming up in just a few, and of course we'll have Ree Trinley in the 6 o'clock hour. Plus we'll get some Ross thoughts at the top of the hour. And that's going to tell us about what happened on that Saturday night comedy gig that was a little crazy.
Yeah. Sunday night out in Mount Verde.
Oh, was it Sunday night?
I did not really belong.
Oh, that's funny. I can't wait to hear about it. All right, 407-916-1041. Everybody see the Cardi B story?
Throwing the water bottle?
Yeah, did you see this?
Her chucking her mic at the person who threw a drink at her?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Girlfriend went off.
Nobody's talking about the real story, though. You're right. Somebody threw a drink at Cardi B, and Cardi B threw her mic. And that woman is now suing Cardi B, by the way.
For assault.
Yep, she is suing her for assault. For sure, she is. Now, I mean, I don't know how that's going to work out. But here's the question. Cardi B threw her mic, and the song kept going.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's expected. That's not a shocker.
No, it is. And I'll tell you why it's a shocker. Right? If you're singing songs like that require a lot of vocal range, right? And you're outdoors and you can't control the environment because it was an outdoor gig. You can't control the environment, or maybe your throat is sore. It's dry outside. There are a number of reasons. People who are vocal talents. Jack's wife knows this. You know, you're a vocal talent. You have to take care of your voice. You have to take care of it.
Yeah, Britney famously used to say that Britney Spears, she would sing over a track because of all the dancing she did, that she was out of breath.
Right. Yeah. And matter of fact, just recently, Taylor Swift said, there was a story about Taylor Swift saying that, on this Eras tour, she, back on her other tours, she used to do meet and greets, all the time. She doesn't do that now because the tour is so rigorous that she has to save her voice. So after shows, she barely talks. She saves her voice for the 2.5 hours, 3 hours. She's going to use it on stage. Cardi B is a rapper.
Yeah, and that's why.
Cardi B is a rapper.
That's why I'm okay with it.
No, that's why I'm not okay with it. You're telling me you can't pull off a rap? She's a rapper. She doesn't have to hit 3 octaves. She doesn't have to have any vocal range. She's a rapper. And you can't spit out a rap?
That's the reason why I'm fine with that's what rapper. Yes,
you have
because I'm not going there to hear octaves or to hear raw.
Well, aren't you going there to hear live entertainment, dude?
I'm there for a party.
Yeah,
I'm there for a vibe,
dude. This drives me crazy. So you're telling me if you saw a comic and the comic just played a tape and he just stood up there on stage so you could see him? There's the comic. I know that's him, and I hear the jokes. I know that's his jokes, but he's just lip syncing it. They're just playing a CD, which you can hear in your car.
I think we both know that is a wildly different example.
I don't think it's that big of a different example.
What was the last rap concert you've gone to?
Oh, I haven't gone to a rap show.
That's what this is. I mean, and then I'm sure there's probably some other times, that the music cuts out. She talks with a cappella, no music, no backtrack.
They should warn you. They should tell you. No, I couldn't be more dead serious about this. They should print on the ticket, just like we say there's not one part of this show that's recorded. Not one. Not one syllable of this show is pre-recorded, but every effing day at the top of every hour, what do you hear? Parts of the show are recorded. No, it's not. Not even close. Never has been. We may play recorded segments that we play on the air for news or something like that, or at one of your bits that we play, but none of the show that is actually the content is ever recorded. If you go to a show, they should print on the ticket. Parts of this show are lip-synced. Now,
she's rapping over that song,
no, but
right?
She's not.
She is.
But she's not. Because
in that video, she isn't, I guess.
She's not because it's too loud. Now, listen real quick, because I know a lot of performers who've done this for years, right? I learned about this when I didn't tour with. I learned about this when I did that little thing with Motley Crue. Even heavy metal bands, which you think, well, they don't have anything to pull off. Their singers are all bad. It's all about the show, right? They were using backing tracks back in the late 90s, and they were supposed to be this live touring band, the whole 9 yards. Man, if I went to a show and I found out the entire thing was lip synced, I would feel so ripped off. So basically what you're saying is you're paying $105 to be in the building with somebody famous, and that's it.
If it was lip synced, sure. I don't think that's lip syncing. That is the song being played. She is live on stage rapping over the song.
But she can't be, though, Ross, is what I'm saying is because it was at actual volume. When you have backing tracks that are helping you.
We didn't hear her rap over the song because she got cut off by the drink.
But it doesn't matter because the volume of the song was exactly the same. Do you see what I'm saying?
But we don't have another volume to compare it to because she wasn't rapping.
But, buddy, what I'm saying is it doesn't matter. When she stopped talking or rapping, it was the same exact volume.
There was no rapping. There was no rapping in that video.
Am I not explaining this right? I mean, I'm really at a loss
here. It's just you
here.
and I on this.
No, I understand, but I'm asking these guys, am I not explaining this right? Because it was at volume. In other words, she had the mic, and I don't know if she was rapping or not, but the volume was loud enough to make you believe that she was actually rapping to the track. So what I'm saying is if she would have tried to rap to the track and even messed up a little bit, it would have sound doubled. You would have known it immediately.
Yeah.
So that leads me to believe that she wasn't rapping at all.
Yeah, I don't think that was the case.
Okay.
I think that is just her rapping over the song.
So you would have no problem paying that kind of money. Like if you paid $300 or $400 to go see an act that you'd waited a year and you found out the entire show was lip sync, you'd be cool with that?
That's not lip syncing, though. It's not lip syncing. Lip syncing is them not being amplified at all and that the voice on the track is being deceived as their voice. I don't think that was this case here. I think this is a rapper traditionally doing a rap concert where they rap over their song.
And let's talk about this new trend of why people think it's okay to chuck stuff onto the stage.
When she threw the mic, did it make a sound when it hit the woman that you could hear over the PA?
Yes.
So it was a hot mic.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything.
Well, it just means she's singing over her voice.
It means she could sing over her voice.
Right.
Because if you want to put in a little, what's up? Or you want to give a little shout out, you can do that. And that, by the way, happens all the time. You have a live mic, you're able to lip sync, but when you want to address the crowd and make it seem like you're singing, you can do this. I know that because Britney Spears did it. And you mentioned that. I mean, I know that for a fact. But the point is this. Let's get past that. The point is this. Would you be okay with that? Are you okay with paying that kind of money to see an act and not knowing if it's going to be lip synced or faked or part of it enhanced? I mean, that should be on the ticket.
Those are two different things. Lip sync, yes, I would have a problem with. But if that person comes out and they play the regular song and then they rap over it, I'm fine with that.
Should the ticket say a portion of this show will be pre-recorded? Would you, when you saw a ticket, if you saw a show, and this show is like, let's say it's Eagles, and they're coming up. We know they don't have to do it because they're incredible performers. They've been doing the shows for years. But if it said on that ticket, a portion of this show is pre-recorded, how would you feel?
I mean, I'm going into that Cardi B situation expecting exactly that situation. I'm not expecting, like, octaves. And now here's the thing. You brought up Taylor Swift. That's a different ballgame because I think her product is about her voice. Believe it or not, Cardi B, it's not about her voice. It's about the vibe. It's
about that wow.
It's what gets your emotions going. It's about getting a party, a rap concerts. The times that I've gone to, it is far like, oh, did you hear that note? I've never heard that before at a concert.
That's a great racket, man. That is the best racket ever.
So I mean,
you don't have to do anything.
If you were just going to put an announcement of portions of the show are pre-recorded, I think that would be almost every show because I think there's some elements of studio work that do not get replicated in live performances, whether it's a synthesizer part or just other elements of song beyond the voice that are played on a track during a live performance.
So I know that there are bands who have performers who play off stage. That's happened before because I know of 2 bands who used a keyboardist and a rhythm guitar player, but they were off stage because the main band was the main band, the 4 guys, the 3 guys, whatever the case may be. But to fill the sound up, they played off stage.
How long ago was that?
I mean, it still happens to this day. Matter of fact, I just talked to somebody the other day who told me a story about not Van Halen, but one of the big bands, a couple of the big bands from the 80s had players, and their entire job was touring with this band and playing these particular riffs off stage.
Yeah, I just think that would be far riskier than just getting it tracked.
Yeah.
Because then you have musicians backstage playing the music.
Well, then
everybody working the event.
Ashley Simpson thing happens on national television.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I just think it's a bit of a ripoff. I mean, the thing is, if you call yourself an artist, do the art.
Is she calling herself an artist?
Well, I mean, she is an artist. Yes. I mean, everybody calls her an artist.
You're calling herself an artist.
Well, she's a recording artist, Ross. I mean, it's not that. I mean, she's a recording artist. That's what she does. She's a recording artist. That's what she does.
Yeah, I'm just saying that if you walk around, if you're telling her, like, she claims she's an artist, I've never heard her claim to be an artist.
Well, I mean, I don't think she has to. I mean, I think the nature of her job claims it for her. I don't know. When I read the story today, I saw the mic thing. I was like, God dang, man, I just can't believe it. It just seems so cheap. And it seems like such a ripoff. Like, people are paying good money to come see you. The least you could do would be put in a little effort to do the thing that you're paid to do. I don't get it.
I think you're looking for raw, uncut talent in a place that really, it's not there. That's rap. Cardi B isn't the most talented rapper.
Maybe I'm expecting too much, and that could be a fault of mine for sure. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Back in a sec with more of The Jim Colbert Show.
Dangling the proverbial carrot since 1993. Whatever the hell that means. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Real Radio 1041. Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Heavy delays reported in I-4 this afternoon in the Orlando area as you take I-4 both east and westbound. Heavy thunderstorms are in the forecast for the next hour, so make sure to drive with extra caution on the roadways. Still seeing some heavy delays due to a crash reported southbound on the Turnpike near Mineola and the Oakland Exchange exit. A crash blocks the right lane on I-4 eastbound at Sand Lake. If you see traffic problems, call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com, and I sell custom blinds designed for do-it-yourselfers. Unlike stock blinds offered at big box retailers, Blindster blinds are custom made for your windows and shipping is free. Don't hire an expensive pro. Do it yourself and save big at Blindster.com.
Oh, the Jim Colbert Show question of the day is going up now. YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. And it's brought to you by WeAreNotTheBanks.com, your direct mortgage lender. That is Brad Siebert and his team, his crew, his gang at WeAreNotTheBanks.com. This is what they do. They secure mortgages for your next home, or maybe you want to stay in the home and refinance it. They do that as well. Now, I know that firsthand because I used WeAreNotTheBanks.com when I did my refi. It was about 8 years ago. Got a great rate. Brad let me know everything I needed every step of the way and put me in a great situation today because of that decision I made back then. WeAreNotTheBanks.com deals with all types of buyers, with all types of loans, VA loans, conventional loans, even jumbo loans of all sizes. For all your mortgage needs, again, the website is WeAreNotTheBanks.com. Go there today. NMLS ID number 66247, Equal Housing Opportunity.
Divorce? Call Trinley and Kramer, TK Law, OneFirmForLife.com.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeart Media can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else. And we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. From your cell, dial pound 250 and say keyword great results. That's pound 250 and say great results.
There are 16 spots in the playoffs and just one track left. Well, not just any track.
We're basically going to have to win.
Daytona. A last chance to keep playoff hopes alive.
1 point to the good.
And for fans to experience an event unlike any other. NASCAR weekend at Daytona International Speedway, August 25th and 26th. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
The Home Depot and Behr are there for pros and now offer same-day or next-day delivery on top-rated Behr paints, stains, and primers. Get the most trusted paint brand in America delivered straight to your job site and spend less time stressing and more time painting. Contact a Behr Pro Paint Specialist to schedule your paint delivery today. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. Limitations may apply, not available in all markets. See store for details. Ranked most trusted paint brand based on 2023 Life Story research.
Santo Family Moving and Storage is Central Florida's trusted source for local and long-distance moving. From packing to delivery, Santo Moving is fully licensed and insured to provide you a seamless moving experience so you can enjoy your new home in no time. Get a quote today at CentoMoving.com. Forget the stress, move with the best.
Got chronic joint pain but want to avoid steroids and surgery? Take some advice from pro football legend Emmitt Smith. Call QC Kinetics.
Let QC Kinetics help you improve your quality of life with biologic therapies that get your body to repair and restore damaged tissue.
These exciting new regenerative treatments from local medical professionals can help your body heal itself with lasting pain relief.
Trust me, you want to avoid surgery if you can. Check out these biologic treatments to see what your options are.
QC Kinetics. Restorative, regenerative solutions with no downtime, no surgery, no drugs.
I'm talking about joint pain we all can relate to in your knees, your shoulders, your hips, and your lower back. They'll get you feeling good again.
Get relief now.
What are you waiting on? Make the call to QC Kinetics. Tell them Emmitt Smith sent you.
Call QC Kinetics, 689-244-7980. That's 689-244-7980. In Orlando, Winter Park, and the Villages, 689-244-7980.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment changeouts and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
At Fifth Third Bank, we give you free checking, never have hidden fees, and help protect your identity.
Oh, really?
Yep. See, our name equals 166.7%. So we put in that much effort.
Well, my name's Jim, so I guess I'm headed to the gym. And I'm gonna put in 166.7% effort too.
Aw, I'm proud of you.
No one's ever been proud of me.
This is banking a Fifth Third better. Fifth Third Bank, National Association member FDIC.
Get ready to save with Spectrum One. You get Spectrum Internet delivering fast and reliable speeds for $49.99 a month, free advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced privacy and security, and a free Spectrum mobile line with unlimited talk, text, and data, plus nationwide 5G. Go to spectrum.com/save more and use the Spectrum One savings calculator to see how much you can save today. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
Only iHeart Radio gives you access to all of your favorite radio stations.
The Rod Ryan Show.
It's the
Woody Show. It's Elliot in the morning.
All of the once-in-a-lifetime events.
iHeartRadio Music Festival, yeah!
All of the best free curated playlists.
The best bands.
All of the great podcasts for every interest.
The stuff they don't want you to know.
All of the mind-blowing contests.
$20,000.
Awesome.
All of your favorite superstars.
This is Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters.
Best of all, it doesn't cost a thing. Download the absolutely free iHeartRadio app now.
This hour of programming brought to you in part by FAS Windows and Doors.
If you don't know what web goals are, consider yourself lucky. If you feel like helping out, go to JimColbertLive.com and look at stuff.
Ross, I love you, man, but you're more than wrong. You're so wrong. Oh, man. Go to Tech 9. Yeah, he's not playing to a track. He's rapping it on stage. Laying it down real. She doesn't need to be there, basically. So, yeah, I hate to be this, but yeah, you're wrong. You're in the wrong, man. I'm sorry, you're in the wrong.
Take that, Ross.
If I can, I don't think I don't think I ever said all rappers do this.
Yeah.
I will say a lot of acts do this. I have no problem with it as they are still rapping over the track. I get Tech 9. I've been to concerts. I saw Wu-Tang. They didn't do this. Not that I remember.
Right.
Maybe even in some parts. I don't even really remember. But when it comes to when you say Tech Nine, that's more of like a hip hop vibe where it's more focused on the lyrics.
Yeah.
When you go to a Cardi B concert, you're not really looking for bars. You're looking for a party. You're looking to get drunk. You go to a Tech Nine, yeah, you're gonna lean into the lyrics because that's why you're there. Are you there at a Cardi B show for the lyrics? No, you're there for the song. You're there for the bass, and you're there for the experience.
Someone just texted at 77031. I used to be a tour DJ for a famous rap group. It's common for rappers to do it because people want to hear the song as it was recorded, not how they would do it live. Lip sync is all caps, totally different.
There you go. I know the Astro World. This is like the
So I feel pretty good about my stance here.
Look, either one of these takes are just, it's a generational thing. I'm sure that I did. And by the way, I have seen a couple rap shows. I saw the Beastie Boys when they first came to town. Of course, they were not doing backing tracks because I don't even think it was available then. But it doesn't matter. I mean, again, somebody said it perfectly. If you're entertained, I don't guess it matters. But for me, I would love to know if someone is doing that. I would like to know beforehand so I can make a choice. Hey, I want to go see somebody just basically, fake the words to a backing track, or do I want to see someone actually sing? So I guess you have to just kind of weigh out what show you're at. Because if you saw this at a Celine Dion show or a Kelly Clarkson show or somebody that's known to have an incredibly good voice that has range, you want to see them sing. Adele or Sia or any of those people with those incredible voices. That's what you're there to see.
I am going to my third Springsteen show of the year next month.
Okay.
I have zero interest to hear him on tape.
Yeah. None.
Do it live. I'm impressed at the age that he can perform for 2 hours and 50 minutes, at that energy level and sing as he does in his style. But I have zero interest to hear a recording of it.
And neither would I.
Yeah.
Like, you're talking about Bruce, you're talking about, like, one of the greatest musical acts. And his whole bread and butter is hard work and music, the musicianship. You're not there, like, at a Cardi B concert for that.
I think, and also, just being fair, I think it's hard to kind of like, you can't, like you say to me, you can't say that's for everybody. I would say that, again, I would put that up there as well. Like, you can't say that everybody's just at a Cardi B show just to party and get loose. I mean, maybe somebody is there because of her lyrics. Maybe somebody does really like how she crafts those rhymes. I mean, maybe they do.
Yeah, and they're going to sing along, and they're going to have a
You're
blast.
right. I doubt the one thing I will say is I doubt anybody's going to get mad about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, 407-916-1041. Did you guys see this story out of Knoxville, Tennessee? This is an interesting thing. I want to ask you guys before I get into the story, where does a cop's responsibility end in a situation? Where does it end? Like in a situation where somebody's life could be at danger, but to intervene in that, they also put their own lives at danger. And not like the Parkwood thing or Parkland, not like Parkland. But this situation where there was a 30-year-old man, he obviously had some mental issues. Cops were called because he was in the middle of a road in his underwear, doing stuff, and he obviously had something going on. They tried to apprehend him. He ran down to an area where there was a riverbank, wound up tumbling down the riverbank into the water. The cops did not go in after him. He wound up drowning. The mom is suing and wants answers. And my thing was, they could hear, I guess there's recording of them talking back and forth on their mics, on their address systems. What do you call that, guys?
Their body cameras?
The body cam, and when they could talk to each other on that little thing that they
radio.
Exactly. My apologies. I don't know how I could think of that.
The thing we're on.
Yeah, exactly. So with that said, one says to the other, I'm not going there because he's going to drown me as well. So I know that when you look at this case from the outside in, it looks pretty harrowing because they stood there on the bank. And I know we've had stories like this before. They stood there and kind of wondered out loud. Now, they called for help, like a boat to come get him. They did a couple of other things as well, but nobody went in after him. And the statement was made, if I go in there, he's going to drown me. and then he winds up going under, and he was in the water for like 8-10 minutes or whatever the case may be. Whatever, I think it was 8 or 10 minutes or so. Where does that end? Do you guys agree with that? Do you guys think that officers should do this? Somebody should have gone in?
I mean, I'm not looking at the water. I'm assuming there's it's a strong current. It's got to be a dangerous situation for them not to intervene. They think that they themselves are going to get drowned, correct?
Yeah, I mean, it would be no different than, I guess, somebody drowning at the beach. And if you're not a lifeguard, you go out there, and we've heard that, 4 or 5 times this year already? Somebody going in to save somebody else and then wind up dying themselves?
Did they try, if they came to the conclusion of we're not going to go in the water, did they try to at least make another call, get a ladder, a truck, right?
They tried to get a boat.
Then I think that's signed, sealed, and delivered for me.
The mom says Mika, who's the gentleman in question here, deserved better that day, said Lance Baker, the family's attorney, my apologies. He deserved officers that operated like first responders. And what he received were officers that operated like bystanders. It's a wrongful death that was filed last Tuesday in U.S. District Court, which is 1 year after this gentleman's death. This happened a year ago. And, of course, they're saying, hey, look, his death was tragic, but the officers did not respond inappropriately. The officers immediately called for assistance from the Additionalized Special Resources. Any suggestion they prevented reasonable or safe attempts to rescue him are not supported by the facts.
Yeah, that last little ditty right there. Can you read that one last sentence? Because that's the whole question right there.
Now, the thing is this guy at 13 years old became an opioid addict. He participated in court-sponsored rehab programs and eventually moved to a halfway house in Knoxville. This was the weekend of July 15th last year, 2022. He was spotted on a street in Knoxville, according to the lawsuit. He was behaving unusually, prompting multiple calls to authorities. He was rolling around in the street. He was scared, only wearing a black underwear and a T-shirt. They asked him what was going on over there. Then he walked away, and they said, hey, what you doing? Then he began running toward the Tennessee River. And they have body footage. And he says the responding officer told the guy, come on back here when you're done. I guess, I don't really know what that means. I guess maybe running down by the river. He ran until he found a steep embankment that was covered in brush, and then he went in. The officer repeatedly told him to swim to a nearby dock, which is apparently right there.
And what was his response? Do we know?
I mean, he didn't. I don't think he responded. He says
he didn't swim to the nearby dock.
He was attempting to get back to shore, but I cannot get him, according to the lawsuit. It cited body cam footage. And then they told him to relax and wait for the boat to arrive.
This was a year ago. Was he under the influence at the time, or was this a psychotic episode, a mental health issue?
You just said he was acting erratically.
That's all we know?
Yeah.
That's the thing is, I mean, are police officers equipped to swim?
Yeah.
I know that they put their lives on the line every day.
Well, he's acting erratically as well, so you figure, I mean, if he's acting erratically on dry land, I mean, it ain't going to get better when you throw him in a river. And he says, the cop said, quote, I'm not going down there because he'll drown my ass.
Yeah, so that's like a legit fear for his life. But at the same time, that happens. I mean, we're giving a lot of heat towards a police officer who also had a fear for his life. And the big Parkland argument against that officer is that you didn't do your job.
Yeah.
Right? Now, do we feel the same way about this? Did they do their job?
Eventually, 4 officers, in addition to at least 1 EMT, were present at the scene. And despite the gentleman's proximity to the shore, the lawsuit alleges that, quote, none of the 4 officers tried to reach him with their hands, a baton, a rope, a tow strap, a flotation device, or anything.
Well, you said 4 feet. What?
Yeah, it was. I mean, he said it was not that far from the edge.
Oh, man, that's a detail that switches it up again for me.
Proximity to the shore.
4 feet?
No, it didn't say 4 feet.
Oh.
4 officers.
4 officers, sorry.
Yeah.
Good.
It says the lawsuit alleges that in 2 instances, the officers stopped private citizens from helping.
Whoa.
I mean, I would guess that, I'm not taking a side here, but I mean, if you had somebody in a dire situation and 2 people were willing to jump in and, would you at least warn them? Hey, look, this guy is acting erratically, and he could grab on. It could wind up drowning you as well.
So if the police officer is makes a determination that the man drowning is acting erratically, and it's unsafe for him to go and attempt to save him, he would have to then continue that same line of reasoning against any pedestrian who would, a bystander who would also go in. Because if he was dangerous for him to do the rescue, it would be just as dangerous for anyone else.
I guess an employee persisted, according to the lawsuit, telling officers that he could get keys to the gate underneath the establishment where flotation devices or even a small boat were stored to throw one or more to Mika or at least try to reach him. And the cop said, quote, "No, he's got to cooperate, and that's not going to happen." Then he disappeared in the water around 10:27. So he was in the water for like 13 minutes.
See, I have a problem with that. You're not making every effort to save him at that point by saying, then it's more about your ego, like he's got to follow me. He has to cooperate. Well, what kind of, is he going through a mental episode? Is he able, was he on the spectrum? Well, how do you know, like, he is able to cooperate at that point? Because is he deaf? Did he hear you?
Yeah.
Did they communicate at any point? Because at that moment, the police officer said, no, don't get the flotation devices. He has to cooperate.
Yeah, that's an odd statement there. I would agree with that. But,
I think that's problematic.
And, of course, they reached out to the Knoxville Police Department for a statement. They did not respond. Of course, that doesn't really shock me because in a situation like this, there's a lawsuit filed. You're not going to give any information out there.
Also, wait a couple days, see if some other big news story helps you out.
Right, yeah. And they called, by the way, the coroner called this an accidental drowning. It was not obviously labeled as manslaughter or homicide or anything of that nature. It was an accidental drowning. But that's an interesting story. I mean, I have to tell you, man, as a citizen, you see somebody down there, and I do find it a little odd that they did, that there was no, like, maybe an extension pole or any opportunity to throw something to maybe pull him out of the water wasn't made. I mean, if he's struggling, and you can see he's struggling to stay, and he's not listening, though. He's not responding to commands, that's for sure, because they tell him all the time, hey, look, swim to the dock, do this. And apparently when they brought him out of the water, he got caught up in a bunch of vines, because apparently down by the riverbank, it was very brushy, and there were a bunch of vines and stuff. Which, I mean, I don't know why he couldn't reach up and grab the vines and pull himself up, but I don't know what the scene looks like, so it's impossible to say something like that.
Maybe he got caught around his legs.
And who knows?
So suddenly now he's panicking. He can't even
kick, right? Yeah,
because he can't. But based on the fact that he ran away from the police,
right?
It seemed like he was pissed off enough. Well, no, we're not going to throw him anything. He's got to listen.
I wonder if they could even see him. I mean, it doesn't really mention that in the story, because if it was a brushy riverbank. I mean, it doesn't even sound like they went down to the riverbank itself. They just maybe were right there just asking him what's going on. There are a lot of holes in the story. I don't know, but obviously the gist of the story is should the cops have, basically risked their own lives to save him, and after acting erratically in the water, I would not have gone in. I would have found something possibly to throw to him to keep him above water, or extend something to maybe get him out of the water or whatever. But I mean, I don't know that I could just stand there.
A police officer to swim too, like, it's not like they're wearing a t-shirt and shorts.
Right, got to take that gear off.
Right.
That's going to take some time, right?
And look, man, I mean, this is not a situation where you're saving other people's lives. I mean, if the cop doesn't go in, this guy's not going to pull out an Uzi and start spraying the crowd. You know what I'm saying? Not like a Parkland scenario is what I'm saying. It's not like that at all, actually.
A lot of people are texting saying that, they're just simply not trained.
Right, they're not.
They're not. I mean, like the guys who patrol the beach may be trained because they're working near water. People specifically going to the beach, they may be trained. But, he
wasn't charged with a crime or anything. He didn't do anything wrong. He was just acting erratically, and they got a call.
I know. And the unfortunate part, I agree with Jack, though, that statement about he's not cooperating, that kind of shows, like, a punishing mentality.
Yeah, it was more a punitive measure.
Exactly.
As opposed to just trying to save his life. It's like, no, I'll save you, but you have to do it my way.
And you can remember, they're also finding out all of the stuff about the addiction, all the stuff about all that after the fact. I mean, they don't know this. This was a brief encounter. He got called. He acting erratically in underwear, writhing around in the middle of an intersection.
Yeah.
They ask him what's going on. He hauls ass down the riverbank. I mean, they don't know what's going on. They don't know anything about this cat. They just know he fled after they asked him what was going on, and now he's in the river.
Not a tough gig.
That's a tough gig.
A tough gig.
What if this guy is in a car and he drives it into the river? I mean, and he's going down. Do you make an attempt at that point?
Was he fleeing the police at the time?
Yeah. I guess that wouldn't matter. I mean, I don't know that it would matter, would it?
Well, it shouldn't, but I think then you have the mentality. He was trying to, it's like, oh, you did this to yourself, as opposed to it just being an accident.
Right. Yeah.
Like, do you have to know how to swim to become a police officer?
No.
Oh, you don't?
From what people are texting, that you do not.
Like, is there
Nobody
a swimming
I know,
portion?
I find that amazing.
No, because, I mean, again, you're wearing 30 pounds of gear.
Right.
So, no, that's...
Wow.
No one I've ever talked to or has gone to the academy has ever... I mean, but it's also not part of a firefighter's course either.
Right, yeah. But I mean, I get it. I mean, but how many fires are going to be fighting on the water? I mean, I guess that would come into play.
They're a first responder.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So,
wow, that's
EMTs
amazing.
aren't trained to save. You have lifeguards.
But wouldn't you think? I mean, they have a physical fitness test though, right?
They have a physical fitness test, but saving people from the water isn't.
Right. Yeah.
Because again, that's for anyone. A lifeguard will tell you the first thing a drowning person is going to do is grab onto the top of your head, right? Because they're trying to get their head above the water, and they will grab anything they can to try and lift themselves up, and that includes you.
That's right.
So you have to have special training.
My daughter, we were in Silver Glen Springs, and my daughter was trying to swim from one place to the other. The water was super cold, and she started cramping up, and she was like going down, and she was asking for help. I would not go over there. I stuck my arm out. I said, grab my hand, but I'm not coming over there and have you get on top of me like a spider monkey and push me to the bottom, here. And there's no problem. We got her with no issue whatsoever, but man, when you start kind of fighting for your life like that, you don't really consider anything except saving yourself.
Instincts come in.
That's right.
Yeah,
I'll bite someone.
407-916-1041. Load them up. We'll do trivia next.
Real Radio and Carl Black Chevrolet want to send you and a friend to Nashville for a fun-filled weekend and tickets to see Luke Bryan. Register to win now at realradio.fm/contests.
This is Doug Gottlieb. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by LASIK Plus.
Colts running back Jonathan Taylor requested a trade as he enters the final year of his deal. He's an excellent back, but with new head coach Shane Steichen and explosive rookie quarterback Anthony Richardson, the Colts probably say, we don't need a star running back the next several years. The Colts are better off investing in wide receivers probably than a running back. Jonathan Taylor might be doing the Colts a favor here. I'm Colin Cowherd.
Do it. Take the first step towards LASIK and score a great deal at LASIK Plus today. Right now at LASIK Plus, get 20% off LASIK in August. That can be over $900 off when treating both eyes, plus guaranteed financing. Visit mylasicoffer.com for details.
Let's get you that new bathroom courtesy of our friends at Rebath, midfla.com. These guys only replace or remodel bathrooms. That's it. They don't do anything else. They focus completely on what you want in your bathroom. And look, man, I've been in plenty of houses in my life. I even owned one of these at one point in my life, where everything else in the house looked great. You got the paint right. All the furniture looks good. Your flooring is exactly what you want. But the thing is, every time you walk past that bathroom, you just don't want to tackle it. You know there's going to be trouble in there. You know it's going to cost money. And even worse, you think it's going to take months. And you've been told that from all your friends and family. Get that thought out of your mind. If you do have a bathroom that needs to be replaced or remodeled, let Rebath give you a shot, because these guys are really good at what they do. And they have incredible products as well. You're not really sacrificing anything. Not design, not the quality of products, not the install. They're total pros. And they, like I said, everything, sinks, toilets, tubs, lighting, cabinetry, flooring, it's all there. You work with their design team and your space and your ideas, and then they come up with a design you're going to love using their products and their install team. They get it in just 4 to 6 days. They don't have any subcontractors, and they give you a lifetime guarantee on the products and the install. And you can see those products every day right there in their showroom in Altamont Springs. It's right across from Kobe, right off of 436. Pop in, look at what they have. Hop on the website, look at the before and afters, convince yourself this is the move, and then get with Rebath, midfla.com.
O'Reilly.
Protect your engine with Syntec Full Synthetic Motor Oil at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec is designed for today's engines to dissipate heat and reduce friction and wear. Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $33.99, plus 2 times O Rewards points. Limits apply. Choose Syntec exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hi, welcome to Ikea. Talk.
Talk? What's talk?
That's thank you in Swedish. We're saying talk to our loyal Ikea family members with lots of discounts and new lower prices on your favorite items, from the kitchen to the bathroom.
Wow, talk.
No, talk to you. Visit IKEA-USA.com/family-offers to check out our offers available to you. Offers valid 8/2 to 8/20. U.S. only while supplies last. Selection may vary by store and online. See store and IKEA-USA.com for complete terms. Restrictions apply.
Do you know the sound Dunkin' Iced makes? Of course you do. It's that sound of the ice randomly yet rhythmically shaking around the cup, creating the soundtrack to a perfect summer. And summer sure does sound good. Try Dunkin' Refreshers, iced coffee, cold brew, and lattes. America runs on Dunkin'.
At Wells Fargo, if you accidentally overdraw your account, we give you an extra day grace period to avoid the overdraft fee. What if everything came with an extra day?
Sunday night and I have the Sunday scaries.
Honey, don't be scared. Every weekend comes with an extra day now.
All right. TGI Sunday.
It helps to have an extra day. When it comes to overdrafts, you can with Wells Fargo.
Visit wellsfargo.com/getextra to learn more. Terms and conditions apply. Subject to timing requirements and the bank's funds availability policy. Wells Fargo Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Backup systems. We depend on them. Even your household budget has one. And Scott Cash Advance. Up to $500 fast with no credit check. Many locations open 24/7. Some restrictions apply, subject to approval.
Scott. You can always count on a classic. It's timeless and tastefully legendary. That's the truth behind the Troppy Chop. Often imitated, too delicious to be duplicated. The sauce just won't taste the same. But to really stand out, you gotta stay fresh and move to the beat of your own bowl. The Troppy Chop, only at Pollo Tropical. A classic that never goes out of style.
Get ready for some serious price relief from International Diamond Center. Starting August 1st, IDC's Summer of Savings event is back with 2 amazing offers. First, you can get 20% off all wedding bands. Yes, save 20% off every stunning wedding band. Thousands to choose from, all top designers included. Or for everything else at IDC, you can choose offer number 2. 3 years, 0 interest financing. And IDC will cover your first 2 payments. That's right, you can get a beautiful engagement ring, bracelet, or pendant. Spread your payments over 36 months, and IDC will even cover your first 2 payments. Earrings, anniversary bands, even certified diamonds. At International Diamond Center, we know these days you want and deserve the best possible value. So we're rolling back both prices and finance rates. So come see us in August and get an extraordinary 20% off the top savings on all wedding bands. Or buy anything else and get 3 years 0 interest financing. And let us even take care of the first 2 payments. Get ready to save at International Diamond Center's Summer of Savings event starting August 1st. 4 Orlando locations. On approved credit, some product restrictions apply.
Hey, it's Jesse Kelly. When a restaurant closes, my reaction is, that sucks. They had good steak. When regional banks close, or 3 of them close overnight, it freaks me out. This is why I have my own personal gold reserve. It's part of my personal protection plan. Call my friends at Oxford Gold Group. Call 833-404-GOLD. 833-404-GOLD. That's 833-404-GOLD.
Cento Family Moving and Storage is Central Florida's trusted source for local and long-distance moving. From packing to delivery, Cento Moving is fully licensed and insured to provide you a seamless moving experience so you can enjoy your new home in no time. Get a quote today at CentoMoving.com. Forget the stress, move with the best.
There's only one place to watch this nonsense. At Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
Okay.
But
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show. Real Radio 104.1, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. A sad story behind this song. This is a band called Fastball. Do you know the story?
Yeah. A couple left, and they were driving, right?
Yeah, they had no. But they both either had. I think they had Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
Or they had one of those deficiencies where they couldn't kind of remember, and they started driving and got lost and wound up like dying in their car or something.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Cool song though.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back. I'm Jim. Deb is here.
Hello.
Jack is here.
Hi there.
Let's get some sauce jar action.
All aboard! Chugga chugga. Choo choo.
Look at it, Glack. Look at it, Glack.
I have a pair of tickets to see John Waite, 40 Years Missing You at Hard Rock Live, November 12th. Tickets are on sale now at Hard Rock Live box office, old school, or you can go to Ticketmaster, new school. I also have a beautiful pair of tickets to go see the Orlando Pride versus the Washington Spirit Friday, August 4th at Exploria Stadium. That is your sauce jar, which is always brought to you by
Cento Family Moving and Storage. Go local and support a family-owned and operated Orlando Moving and Storage Company. Just make sure you mention the Jim Colbert Show because that bad boy is going to get you a discount. Book them today at CentoMoving.com. That's CENTO Moving.com. Quick clickety-clack, back to you.
Thank you, Deb. I appreciate that. Ross, who's first today?
Let's welcome Michael.
Michael right there on line 3. Michael, how you doing?
Aging rapidly.
All right, very good. Same here, boss. Same here.
That's all of our answers.
But before you die, would you like to play a little game with us?
Well, I might as well because I think it's just fun to listen to you guys.
All right. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Let's do it then.
Is he real?
Want to play a game?
Let's take 100,000 more of you to go. All right, Michael, this is a very easy game. Got a question here for you, 4 answers. One of these answers, however, is not true. If you can sniff that one out, off to the sauce jar you go. Are you ready?
Yeah, but I got allergies, so I probably won't sniff too good.
That's okay, buddy. We're fine. It's National Avocado Day, guys.
Oh, let's go.
That's right. Here are 3 fun facts about avocados and 1 tableside guac of a lie. Number 1, more avocados are eaten in Los Angeles than any other city in the United States. Number 2, at 23%, avocados have more fat than any other vegetable. Number 3, in 2017, Americans spent $900,000 a month on avocado toast. Or lastly, Jamie Foxx owns an avocado farm. Which of those is a lie?
Well, I never really cared for him, so I'm going to go with number 4.
No, that's absolutely true.
Really?
Yeah, Jamie Foxx and Tom Selleck both own avocado farms.
Smart choice.
Yeah, really, it is. Who's next, buddy?
From Michael to Mike.
Okay, very good.
Still biblical.
Mike, how's it going, buddy?
I'm doing great, guys. How are you?
Good. We're talking about avocados here. Which one of these is untrue? Number 1, more avocados are eaten in Los Angeles than any other city in the U.S. Number 2, at 23%, avocados have more fat than any other vegetable. Or lastly, in 2017, Americans spent $900,000 a month on avocado toast.
I'm going to say number 2.
Yeah, number 2 is the answer. Why is that the answer?
Well, I figured it has a seed, so it's not a vegetable.
Yeah, it's not a vegetable at all. It's a fruit. There you go.
Good job,
you
Mike.
You are a winner, buddy. Good job. I appreciate that very much.
Michael feels so dumb right now.
Yeah, avocados are a fruit, and they are one of the fattiest out there. One of the fattiest naturally growing things along with soybeans. That you can find on Earth.
And avocados always do this thing that some foods get, and I don't understand it. No, that's good fat.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
It is good fat.
It is good fat. See, I'm just like...
It's also good for a lot of things. People take it and they mash it up and they use it as a facial mask.
Yep, and for your hair as well.
For your hair, yeah.
The same thing with fruits. Oh, no, that's good sugar.
Yeah,
I didn't know there was... Do they have different views?
More avocados are eaten in L.A. than any other city. Of course, that makes perfect sense. And Americans did spend almost $1 million a month on avocado toast when that thing hit in 2017.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Still good, though.
I would have picked that one.
Oh, would you?
Yeah, it just seemed like that's a lot of money on toast.
Some other things.
But it's not the toast you're paying for.
That's right.
Don't underestimate how dumb us millennials are.
Avocados are a fruit, not a vegetable. Miley Cyrus has an avocado tattooed on her left tricep.
I don't even want to know why.
Yeah. Do you know your avocados are... How do you know your avocados are ripe? One of the ways. There's 2 ways.
Touch, usually.
Okay, you can grab them. You can actually see. But if the skin is darker green, more like a brownish green, that means they're ripe. Also, if you grab the stem of an avocado and you move it and it wiggles a little bit, that's ready to go.
But don't wait 30 minutes because
that's the
if you wait 30 minutes, it's going to be, oh, well, can't use it now.
The name avocado originated from the Aztec word ahucate, which means testicle.
That checks out.
It does check out. And if you boil avocado peels in pits, it will produce a natural color dye that's this color. When you take the pit and the peels, the skin from an avocado, when you boil it, it creates a natural dye.
Red.
What color is it? It's not red.
Yellow.
Not yellow.
Purple.
You were the closest, not purple.
Orange.
Pink is the answer.
Really?
Yeah, and that's a dye that has been used for years.
I bet.
In dyeing clothes and whatever the case may be. If you boil those skins and peels, it'll turn this really beautiful light pink color, apparently.
Wow.
There you go. Thoughts?
So usually when I tell you guys about my gigs, I only tell you guys like the crazier ones, the spicier ones. The last time we talked about a gig, I dapped a blind dude in the front row.
That's right.
I'm here to let you know. Last night's gig was crazier than that. It was absurd. It was wild. And there were way too many famous people at this event. And the last time I checked, I didn't sign an NDA.
Oh.
So we can talk about last night's show a little bit more.
All right, we'll do that next.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Real Radio 1041. Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Heavy delays continue on I-4 this evening in the Orlando area as you take the interstate both east and westbound, traveling through downtown and by the major attractions exits. A crash still blocks the right lane northbound on the 429 as you approach Stony Brook West Parkway. A crash still blocks the right lane southbound on the turnpike between Mineola and the Oakland Exchange exit. If you see traffic problems, call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Want to save big on custom faux wood blinds, shutters, cellular shades, and more? Shop Blindster today and save up to 50% over comparable blinds from brick-and-mortar stores. Get custom blinds at low prices and free shipping at Blindster.com.
Disney on Ice invites you to take a journey across the night sky with Mickey and all his friends. And debuting Frozen 2 at Disney on Ice. Coming to the Amway Center September 1st through 3rd. Tickets on sale now. Visit DisneyOnIce.com for show details.
Check it out.
You lifted your car?
Yep. Refinanced my auto loan with Navy Federal Credit Union. Put the money I saved towards an 18-inch lift kit. Pretty sweet, huh?
It's a minivan.
Well, now it's a mega van.
Dad, I can't get down.
At Navy Federal Credit Union, we're here to help our members save toward their goals. Whatever they may be. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission.
Just come out. The man when you're in trouble, car accidents, slips and falls, he's the only one that you should call. Just come out when you're injured on the go.
Orlando Attorney Mo DeWitt, sung by a non-attorney spokesperson.
Nobody wants to get ripped off, broken into, or robbed, but nobody wants to pay a lot of money to have their home protected either. So let's give you a reason. Save money. For less than $1 a day with no other costs, you can get your home secured. Plus, get a lifetime equipment replacement warranty. You need protection for your home. Call the Home Security Hotline right now. 800-915-8941. 800-915-8941. That's 800-915-8941.
The Home Depot and Behr have what you need when you need it, delivered straight to your job site and at an everyday low price. We're now delivering top-rated Behr paint, stains, and primers directly to you same day or next day. Plus, pros earn discounts with Pro Extra Paint rewards. Contact a Behr Pro Paint Specialist to schedule your paint delivery today. The Home Depot. How doers get more done. Limitations may apply. Not available in all markets. See store for details.
On How Rude, Tanneritos, the Full House Rewatch podcast. Join characters Stephanie Tanner and Kimmy Gibbler, also known as actresses Jodie Sweetin and Andrea Barber, as they relive every episode of your favorite Friday night comfort show.
We spent our entire childhoods on a little show called Full House, playing frenemies, but becoming besties whenever the cameras weren't rolling. And now, 35 years later, it's our biggest adventure yet.
Listen to How Rude, Tanneritos on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome to the Unlit Life. It's this place where you feel free, like enjoying a low-key get-together with friends instead of a wild night on the town style of free. When you can enjoy a moment with blue vapor just because. You know, the everyday doesn't have to feel so everyday. With blue e-cigs, you can get stuff done and still have fun. And when we let ourselves get unlit, we start really living. Blue. Get unlit. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Underage sale prohibited. Blue is a trademark of Font Molding 4BV. Copyright 2022. Fontum US LLC.
Unexpected expenses don't exactly come with an installment plan.
What if they could? An AmScott installment cash advance from $100 to $1,000 could mean more money and more time to pay it back. AmScott, some restrictions apply, subject to approval.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
At Fifth Third Bank, we give you free checking, never have hidden fees, and help protect your identity.
Wow, really?
Yep. See, our name equals 166.7%, so we put in that much effort.
Well, my name's Jim, so I guess I'm headed to the gym, and I'm gonna put in 166.7% effort too.
Oh, I'm proud of you.
No one's ever been proud of me.
This is banking a Fifth Third better. Fifth Third Bank, National Association member FDIC.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because your case matters. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial #546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeart Radio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Are you offended yet? Obviously, we're only kidding. You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show.
Jim Colbert Show. I am going to boil some avocado skins and a pit to see if indeed it turns like pink. First science project of the year. Love you.
Oh, we love you too. Is that Sue?
It sounded like Angela.
Angela, you
No,
may have been
I think it was Sue. But she's going to boil up avocado skins. I thought you said it was the pits.
It's both. It's
Okay.
the skins and the pits. When you boil them down, they apparently turn this real pretty pink hue, and you can use that to dye things.
Oh.
And the Mexican culture's got a lot of bright colors in there, so maybe that worked out great because I mean, most of the avocados come from Mexico. I think like 90% of the world's avocados.
Really?
Yeah, I know California produces all of ours, but globally, Mexico is the number one producer. 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show. I am Jim. Deb and Jack are here as well. Let's get some Ross thoughts.
It's
Ray
weird.
Trimley in a minute.
It's funny.
Persimmon Hollow beer.
Sometimes.
You need to.
It's Ross.
Drink it.
Spelled like sauce. It's Ross Thoughts.
Ross Thoughts is brought to you by Persimmon Hollow Brewing Company. I don't usually do this very often, but I feel like whenever it gets to this absurd level of a story of a gig, I gotta share it to our, to all of Real Radio. Last night, Friday, you asked me, you go, Ross, you got stand-up? I said, dude, I don't know, man. I'm somewhere on Sunday. I know it's a private gig.
This happens to you occasionally too, right? You're just going to call out of nowhere.
Well, I thought this happened like 2 months ago, how I got this gig. I thought I was covering for another comedian, and I thought I was helping him out because he double booked.
Gotcha.
So when I show up and I see that comedian dressed in a suit, and I am not, and everyone at this gala is dressed up to the nines.
That's a weird gig, right?
And a little boy over here thought it was an HOA.
Right. Yeah.
I thought I was performing for like 90-plus-year-olds.
And by the way, it's not like this place doesn't have an HOA.
Yeah. I had no idea what I was getting into. So I thought I was covering for some other comedian. He's at the gig. There's also another comedian at the gig. This is great news because I thought I was going to be by myself. I've done, weird gigs before, but this one's definitely up there because everyone in the room is either married to or is a former professional athlete.
Did it have a little eyes wide shut vibe?
It had the vibe of, they should not have booked comedy. There's no way my material, not even my material, there's no way that material is going to work here.
Not that room.
Yeah, it's just, they didn't even know comedy was supposed to happen.
Wow.
So
what a gig.
I'm walking into the pit, Deb. This is not good. I'm starting to realize all of the factors against me. I am the worst dressed person here. I am in a place called Bella Calina.
Yeah, the beautiful country club out there off of Lake Apopka.
So I guess it's some billionaire compound or something. It looks like where a murder mystery would happen.
Yeah. It's gorgeous.
It looks very spooky. I got lost 4 times, 2 of them on purpose. I just wanted to see more walls and be like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be over here,
It looks like an oligarch's bathroom. Like when you go into the men's club room there, it looks like an oligarch's bathroom. It is so unbelievable.
First person who I see when I walk into this room is Johnny Damon. And I'm like, all right, so this is happening. And then I see RJ Barrett of the New York Knicks, Canadian basketball player. And I'm like, damn, this is legit. And then I see another face. And now I realize, I'm like, this has to go well tonight. This has to go well. And then they start the presentation for this foundation that helps, the whole foundation helps with professional athletes after their career. It's a beautiful thing. It was very cool. They had some touching testimonies. They also played a video of Rob Gronkowski, who sent in a video to the foundation announcing his massive bajillion-dollar donation. And then the owner of the foundation walks up and explains what they are here to do. And then they bring up a pickleball player who is the 5th ranked pickleball player.
In the world.
And then he shared some words.
Okay.
And now it's comedy time.
Oh, my God. You had to follow the pickleball champ.
So there is so much at
You're
risk.
first?
I'm first.
So you're right after the pickleball.
So pickleball guy share some words. Yeah, pickleball's a real sport. Yada yada yada.
LeBron likes it.
Yeah, he defends pickleball and all that. And this is right after a really passionate speech about football players post their careers and CTE and all of that.
Oh yeah.
And then they brought up a pickleball player, which I thought was very funny, to the point where that's what I opened up my set with. I said, did you guys find it funny that we were talking about head injuries, brain trauma, and then we brought up a pickleball player? We ain't talking about you, Playboy.
Did that hit?
Yeah, it hit.
Okay,
and then I said some of the most flagrant things I've said into a microphone because I was desperate. Material will not work, essentially.
Right.
The first thing I asked the room was, I just want to say thank you to all the professional athletes here. I was born and raised watching off of you, watching you guys play your sport, and I'll thank you for my childhood. But I've always wanted to ask you guys, as someone who just did, why did you guys ever get married? And then that worked, and now all of a sudden they were down to laugh at themselves. I was doing all my I'm so white material. I look at Rob Gronkowski's brother. I said, I'm so white that Gronk's brother tried to snort me. Boom, another laugh. We're rocking, we're rolling. There was a lot of former baseball players in the room, and I said, late 90s, Jack. And this was the biggest pop of the night, that I am riffing in front of these people. I said, man, a lot of former baseball players in the room. The only thing faker than your batting averages are the boobs in this room. And then that made the booker of the show look at me, and then he looked at the room. They laughed. He laughed. The gig is still working.
Yeah, right. It's still on.
We're getting through it. At the very end, we rip a couple of jokes about my wife being too hot, yada, yada, yada. That's why I'm out here. We sign, seal, deliver. I nail it. Obliterate. They bring up the next comedian. He bombs so hard.
Oh, no.
He bombs so hard that they pulled him off the stage at about 110 seconds.
Just out of curiosity, how did they do that? When how do they?
It gets worse, dude.
How do they kindly tell you that you're not doing well?
So,
I mean, not that you can't read the room.
Yeah, well, because you're contracted to do X amount of minutes. My contract said 30 minutes. When I showed up, they realized, oh, no, we can't do an hour of stand-up comedy. We have to only do
a few minutes.
10 to 15 per comedian. I was like, thank God. Yes. How he was told was that the host of the event walked up and he said, he murmured something. And then while the comedian who was not doing well bombing, he still had the mic up against his mouth. And he said into the mic, what's going on? They want me to wrap it up. And everybody heard it amplified. And I got to tell you, I felt for my brethren. I felt for him because I've been in that situation.
You've had somebody do that to you?
I mean,
I can't imagine.
I'll be honest with you. I've never gotten pulled off the stage within 2 minutes. But I have bombed, and I felt this man just melt right then and there.
No.
And I walked up to him afterwards. I said, I got good news. It was only in front of me.
And I'm cool.
And I'm pretty cool.
Any other comic would not be cool.
And I won't say your name on radio the next day. Because I'm a good friend. But, man.
It just goes to show you how fickle that is. That dude's kind of blowing up.
He's blowing up. And I still won't drop his name because I don't want to start that rumor. But I will say, professional athletes, you guys were amazing. You guys were super cool. They all shook my hand. I shook Johnny Damon's hand last night, and he said, GoodRx. I was like, hell yeah. I got to walk up to Johnny Damon and say, thank you for a quote that you said years ago that I say once a year, which is, I might be dumb, but I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
My favorite Johnny Damon quote. But, man, the peaks and valleys of stand-up comedy, absolute pressure cooker of a gig, man. That could have gone so south, so bad. I know that because I saw it happen to the next person.
You got to lean on that promoter for a round out there, dude. We got to go play Bella Colina. That place is no joke. That's a good golf course. A lot of fun.
All right, I'll send that email.
Yeah, please do it. You got the hook now.
I got the hook up. You know what we're going to do?
What's that?
We're going to bring beer.
Oh, we got
Persimmon Hollow Brewing beer.
Yay.
That's right. Their Blood Orange Weed is the #1 summer beer of 2023. Their Southbound Hiker New England IPA. If you've never experienced a New England IPA, may I recommend that Persimmon Hollow introduce you to them. They are delicious. Andy and Robbie, the minds behind Persimmon Hollow beer, they are unbelievably passionate, not about just the beer that they brew, but also about the communities that they provide for. They have 5 locations all throughout Central Florida. I love getting tagged on everybody taking photos with their Persimmon Hollow beer. Please do not stop doing that. If you want more information about the best beer in Central Florida has to offer, visit them at phbeer.com. Those are your Ross thoughts. Shout out to JD. You made me feel good last night. I'm out. Peace.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Back in a sec with Ray Trinley. TK Laws up next.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7. It's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by Gringos Locos and SecuredRoofingAndRestoration.com. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James, Miguel, Mike, and Ken. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
Heavy delays continue on I-4 this evening in the Orlando area as you take the interstate both east and westbound, traveling through downtown and by the major attractions exits. A crash still blocks the right lane northbound on the 429 as you approach Stony Brook West Parkway. A crash still blocks the right lane southbound on the Turnpike between Mineola and the Oakland Exchange exit. If you see traffic problems, call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Discover credit cards do something pretty awesome. At the end of your first year, they automatically double all the cash back you've earned. That's right, everything you earned doubled. The cash back from trips, restaurants, all doubled. Seriously, though, see terms and check it out for yourself at discover.com/match.
Here's something you've never heard before.
Stop. This is Simply Safe.
Introducing 24/7 lifeguard protection, only from Simply Safe Home Security. Now, monitoring agents can see and speak to intruders through our new indoor camera to help stop crime in real time and for fast police response. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. Advanced home security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
You wouldn't believe what's under the hood on this baby. Well, try me on because I might believe it. I buy hot rods. I buy old cars. I buy classics. GiveMeTheVin.com. We are America's best car buyer, but we also are talented in older cars, resto mods, specialty stuff, Chevelles, Vets. We've got 100 different buyers, and everybody knows different spaces. So no matter what you have, we're going to come up with a real number for it. If it's on wheels, we buy it at GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
In this week's Marketers Report, we hear about the importance of local radio from Allison Griffin, head of marketing at State Farm.
iHeart has such a broad broadcast reach that is local, and for us to be able to touch customers with a local feel but at a national scale is so efficient and important for us.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, trusted influencers, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Baby boomers and retirees, protect yourself from the coming tidal wave of higher taxes. This administration's spend and tax schemes, along with their failed economic policies, are only going to add more to the taxes already being taken of your retirement savings. You can gain retirement tax protection from national talk show wealth strategist and best-selling author Chuck Oliver of The Hidden Wealth Solution. Learn how you can get a head start to be retirement tax smart. Imagine learning proven solutions, saving thousands in unnecessary taxes. Visit retirementprotected.com. Retirementprotected.com.
Get ready to save with Spectrum One. You get Spectrum Internet delivering fast and reliable speeds for $49.99 a month, free advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced privacy and security, and a free Spectrum mobile line with unlimited talk, text, and data, plus nationwide 5G. Go to spectrum.com/save more and use the Spectrum One savings calculator to see how much you can save today. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
Join Jim Colbert on The Jim Colbert Show for his Cigar of the Week segment every Friday afternoon at 3:45. You can pick up these featured cigars at all 3 Corona Cigar Company locations, Dr. Phillips, Heathrow, and downtown. Learn more at coronacigar.com.
Christner's is known as the place to celebrate all of life's special events. Their commitment to quality food features USDA prime steaks aged in-house, classic cocktails, fine wines, and excellent service is simply unmatched. To enhance your legendary experience, Christner's now offers an array of custom bourbons and New Heaven's Door Barrel Aged Old Fashioned. Every day is a special occasion at Christner's. Visit Christner'sPrimeSteakandLobster.com for reservations.
Night Fans UCF Football Fan Fest is Sunday, August 6th from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. at Edition Financial Arena. Meet your favorite athletes, get autographs, and more. For more information, log on to UCFKnights.com.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier Factory Authorized Dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Preventive maintenance on all brands, and that saves you money and can detect an upcoming breakdown. Visit millsair.com.
At Fifth Third Bank, we give you free checking, never have hidden fees, and help protect your identity.
Oh, really?
Yep. See, our name equals 166.7%, so we put in that much effort.
Well, my name's Jim, so I guess I'm headed to the gym, and I'm gonna put in 166.7% effort too.
Oh, I'm proud of you.
No one's ever been proud of me.
This is banking a Fifth Third better. Fifth Third Bank, National Association member FDIC.
The podcast Journalista tells the improbable life story of Courtney Cookie Hood. Follow Cookie's adventures from working for CBS News in Managua during the Nicaraguan Civil War to blowing the lid off the Iran-Contra scandal and almost taking down the Reagan presidency.
They're assuming that I know what I'm doing, that I'm a journalist. I wasn't. I was being thrown into the Coliseum to the lions. I had not a clue.
Listen to Journalista on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This hour of programming brought to you by MyHomeBuildersNetwork.com. Need a new roof? Then you need Mike at MyHomeBuildersNetwork.com.
You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show on Real Radio 104.1.
Hey, Jim, this is Abe. Hey, just wanted to weigh in on that gentleman who drowned. Law enforcement officers do not have a responsibility to act if that situation could result in them placing themselves in danger or death. So that is definitely something to consider when you have these kinds of stories like this. I mean, where they endanger themselves, they have a responsibility to protect themselves.
I mean, that makes perfect sense. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, and thanks for tuning in. We appreciate that. By the way, if you'd like to help us out a little bit, if you went to our YouTube channel and followed us there, that would be wonderful. If you subscribed, that'd be wonderful. You just go to JimColbertLive.com. You can find it there, or YouTube/@JimColbertShow, I believe is what it is. You can find it there as well. And again, just give us a subscribe. That helps us out quite a bit. And we plan on doing a lot more content moving toward YouTube Shorts and things of that nature as well. Welcome back. I'm Jim. Deb is here. Hello. Jack is here.
Hi there.
And so is Ross.
One in the like, two in the subscribe.
Is that legal?
Yeah.
I should ask first.
I every single Monday at this time, we invite our good friend Ray Trenlian from TK Law, one firm for life.com. Good and loud for Mr. Ray Trenlian.
Can I add something to that?
Yeah.
When you're going and subscribing, you might as well just hit the like and comment button at the same time.
Yeah,
it takes an extra 2 seconds.
Do it all.
And it's super helpful.
Tell them, Ray.
Give us all of your likes and all your subscribes.
Absolutely.
How's it going, buddy?
I'm living the dream, man.
Are you really?
Yeah.
That's good.
You know, and I hate to say it this way, but sometimes like you do something and you do it just because you know it's the right thing to do, and then you hope that there's going to be good karma on the back end, but then it's nothing but like a disaster on the back end.
Yeah.
And so like I'm just hoping for the good karma to come back around.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, really?
So you have a lot of hope.
I do have a lot of hope today.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. Well, this is the final installment of our Divorce Myths series, which
Summer's over.
Started about 9 weeks ago or so. And if you missed any of these series and you are in that situation, just go to JimColbertLive.com. We have them broken out right there in its own separate segment. You can hear every one of them. And I got to tell you guys, if you're in a situation where you think this is possibility, this may be happening, and you're wondering about what could happen, what's coming down the road, if you go and listen to this series, we have covered a ton of material, and you need to know the laws have changed dramatically in Florida over the last few years. And matter of fact, over just the last few months, the laws have changed dramatically. If you've heard for years, divorce is going to kill you because there's lifetime alimony in this state, that is not the case anymore. The 50-50 visitation thing has changed dramatically. Fathers' rights have changed dramatically. So if you're in a situation where you think that you could kind of move, or you think you're moving toward that, take a few minutes and listen to this series. I mean, there is a ton of great information at every stage of this.
Yeah, and to your point, I was just talking with somebody the other day about alimony and specifically, and I've got like an old formula that I use, which followed the old statute that I had created myself, and then I created a new formula to match the current statute. And I looked at how much money this guy was saving. It was something like $640,000 over the course of a lifetime of alimony.
Right, that's incredible.
But it was $640,000 deduction. So a lot of people I know for years were I can't afford to get divorced.
Right.
And so I was having a conversation with this guy, and I said, just listen, like, this is not the law. Do not even start thinking about these as real numbers. But I just did these just for my own purposes and just to show you the difference. And the guy about fell out of his seat.
I can only imagine. Well,
yeah.
Incredible changes. So, okay, the myths that we're dealing with today, there are two of them we'll discuss today. The very first one is, quote, talking about divorce can increase your likelihood of getting divorced. Now, to be honest with you, I've never heard that myth. I've never heard the idea of, talking about getting divorced will increase your chances of actually getting divorced.
Yeah, and so here's how it's normally portrayed to me. It's I don't want to talk to my spouse about this until I have all of my ducks in a row.
Right.
And so there are certain situations and circumstances where it maybe makes sense for you to keep your cards close to your vest, right? So, if there's emotional or financial or physical abuse, right? Those are situations where you might want to have a safety plan. Sometimes if there's a possibility for children to be relocated or kidnapped, we might withhold some of that information. Other than that, generally speaking, your case will go a lot better if you are able to have that conversation. And it's not an emotional one. It's not, Deb and I had a fight and I say, we're getting divorced and this is what you need to know. It's usually hey, we know we're growing apart. Let's start talking about what the next steps look for both of us.
Exactly. Because when I read that, I didn't kind of understand what exactly you were talking about. That makes perfect sense, because what you're saying is these conversations could be difficult, but they could actually help you wind up building a stronger marriage. Because, when you're starting to approach the idea of, hey, we're growing apart, our ideas are different, we like different things now, we've been together a while, that you haven't taken the time to discuss those things or what's happening or what could be negotiated in a relationship like that.
Absolutely. And I think, again, not that I think that you should have this conversation as a form of leverage in your relationship. That's not a good way to have a relationship. But what I do think is that having some of these conversations, you might realize that there are things that you simply can't live without. And so, a common example I use with my best friend who got divorced last year was they had different religious views and opinions. And that was one that neither of them was willing to overcome. And so when they had this conversation, and I was actually involved in it because I'm also their child's godfather, we had this conversation and we were going through these issues. And I said, are these things that you guys can work on? Can you respect that you believe this and you believe this? And they both said no.
They're non-negotiable.
They're non-negotiable. And so then it's like, okay, well, if that's the case, then let's talk about what the next steps look like. And, how do we separate the kids? How do we separate the expenses and all those other things?
Yeah, because that's not malicious.
Not at all.
There's no infidelity there. There's no financial infidelity.
Right.
There's no hiding anything. It's just that you look at life differently than I do. And unfortunately, the way that you look at life does not gel in any way, shape, or form with the way that I roll. We still probably have respect for each other and maybe even some love in there because of the time you spent together.
Absolutely.
But unfortunately, the way that we are going to move forward, there's no path because we don't see the general moral outlook as the same or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, and I think that you hit the nail on the head. They weren't upset at each other for some type of infidelity or indiscretion. It was, they grew apart, and honestly, my friend acknowledged that it was him that was the big catalyst for this. He was raised Catholic.
Right.
His mid-20s and early 30s, religion was not a part of his life. He had a child out of wedlock, which was a part of that. And then he went back to the church and really got involved and became a really big thing for him. And it helped him with some addiction issues. And so he was just all in, and she didn't see eye to eye.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that in politics is becoming one of the biggest players in divorces, aren't they?
I'll tell you what, the Biden-Trump election, which was, I guess, 16?
16, yeah.
Yeah,
16.
wow. That doesn't seem right.
No,
that was Hillary Clinton. 2020, yeah. So 2020.
That was Hillary.
So 2020, when it was Biden and Trump, I had a lot of people saying, like, I need to get divorced. And I'm like, well, what's going on? It's like, I can't stand blank channel. And you could fill in the blank because I heard it all.
Right, yeah. I'm sure, yeah. The other thing here that it's part of this very thing that there's no question this is the case. Like, one of the major issues that causes conflict is the surprise of being served divorce papers.
Oh, my goodness, yeah.
In other words, rather than sit down and go, hey, look, man, I mean, I think we can both understand that there's been something happening here. Instead of, at work one day, you or she received divorce papers. You're like, what the?
Right.
That's a blind side, and of course would cause a lot of.
So the analogy I use in my mind, it's like it's like the 1700s where there's two ships and they're about to shoot volleys over at each other.
Yep.
And there's that hesitation before the first one starts shooting its cannons, right? That's kind of like what ends up happening. And this is like with two ships are sailing and you don't expect anything to happen, and then one starts shooting, it ends up in a war, right? And that's how a divorce can seem is that it's an all-out battle. And so when you blind somebody like that, they immediately go into a defensive posture. There is no more trust. There is no more communication. And what ends up happening is the only communication or the only exchange of information is going to be through lawyers, and those lawyers you're paying. And so, again, are there times where something like that happens unintentionally? Absolutely. Even in cases where we file for divorce and we get emergency orders that freeze assets, or we get emergency orders that, protect kids from being removed from the state, I call a friendly hello letter. And then, I have either the client personally deliver it or I'll personally deliver it. And I'll say, hey, I was retained by your spouse. We filed for divorce. This is what's been done, but it doesn't have to be the end of the conversation. I want to get input from you. I want to make sure that, we can have your divorce in a way that, matches up with my client's expectations.
Yeah, because when you surprise somebody with that, basically what you're saying is the negotiations are off.
Oftentimes, yeah.
Even if you're angry, the angriest you can possibly be, if someone's been has cheated on you or whatever the case may be, still cooler heads prevail, and you're gonna, at the risk of sounding robotic, you're gonna get a better deal, even if something like that has happened. If you just remain calm and go about it in a business-like manner. And go, hey, I understand, you fell out of love with me, you had a thing, obviously we can't be together anymore, let's figure out a safe, fair way to separate our thing and move forward so you can go do your thing and I can do my thing. And that sounds virtually impossible when you're in the throes of something that severe, but I will promise you that will work out much greater in your favor than the other, A-bomb way.
And one of the tricks that I use is especially when somebody's able to take it as an unemotional approach, I can be the bad guy, and I can say, hey, you can pit your spouse against me. They don't need to like me. You just need to say, hey, my lawyer's a jerk, and he's telling me I need to ask for this, or I need to get this from you, and I'm on your side. I want to get this resolved as nicely as possible. And what that can sometimes do is that can help foster a relationship after the divorce is finalized, and my client gets an excellent outcome. So it's a win-win for me.
Right.
I probably get one more enemy out there, but who's counting at this point?
Right. I mean, you're a lawyer, buddy.
That's right.
I got bad news for you.
So, my favorite is this is my grandmother who's passed away now. On the day of my law school graduation, she said, "What do you call 1,000 lawyers or 100,000 lawyers at the bottom of the ocean?" And I said, "What?" She's like, "A good start." And so, I'm not immune to those types of jokes in my family.
All right. Well, we think we got that one conquered. So talking about divorce can increase your likelihood of getting divorced. That is a myth.
That is a myth.
So what you need to do, and by the way, I know that you probably know some clients that would rather go through it caustically than have the idea of sitting down with their wife and talking something like this out. And again, that's another one where you need to kind of just really kind of reel in the factors of reality in there and just go, okay, well, it's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be terrible, but it will end. It will get better. And if you drop that bomb of just serving papers, you can expect the worst possible reaction.
That's right. And that actually kind of goes into the second one a little bit, if you want to hit on that one.
This myth is this, and I think this is a very important one to end this entire series with. I agree with this 100%. Every divorce case is similar in length and cost.
That's right. And that's the biggest myth.
Yeah, that is the biggest myth, because your buddy got divorced. He got killed, right?
Yeah.
You don't know this. You don't know the factors of that. There's a possibility he could be keeping something from you, out of embarrassment, but not. I would say rarely these things are similar.
Yeah, I would say that's exactly correct. Rarely are they identical or similar. From the personalities involved to informational disadvantages during the marriage to just the issues that you're going through. So, I mean, you can have two cases where there's alimony, there's children, there's assets, there's debt. You got two cases with all the same issues, because that's what we call those, as issues, but with wildly different personalities. So you go from somebody who's going to burn the barn down to somebody who wants to create peace. One might be a 2-year-long divorce and one might be a 2-month-long divorce. And so every case is very unique. And what I really try to do, and so I train my lawyers on this, and it's pretty accurate to a certain degree, is we have kind of a formula that I've created probably close to 10 years ago with Steve on how we identify some of these cases, and we will try to use that as a way to determine like the length and the time, because I truly believe this. Every case has a natural conclusion point, and that might be at a trial, that might be in a settlement, but you have to be able to pinpoint when that is. And sometimes when there's emotional issues or there's substance abuse issues, that window's longer from the start from the start. And it's sometimes where you have two people that are very rational and unemotional, and they're willing to work together, you can spot that window pretty quickly.
Let me ask you, man, what is that percentage? I mean, let's say you do 100 divorces. I mean, how many do you do a year?
Me personally or the firm?
Just the firm.
We probably do, I'd say probably close to 220 probably.
Okay, so 200 or so divorces. Out of those 220 so are divorces, how many of those are amicable? People just realize the relationship has come to an end. They want to make sure that the assets and the children are handled fairly, and they're perfectly calm across the table saying, hey, look, we're going to shake hands after this. We had a good run kind of thing, as opposed to the caustic, I want it to cost him everything. I want it to cost her everything. What's the percentage breakdown of that?
I think people go through a transition. Sometimes they start off as peaceful and they turn to caustic, and vice versa.
It's almost the same as it's almost like a death, right?
Yeah, very much like a death.
You go through those same exact
stages of divorce.
The 5 stages of death kind of thing, right?
Yeah, stages of divorce are very similar.
And anger
and so one of the things that we will oftentimes, and it's part of our factors that we've created to kind of evaluate these cases, is where are people at on the emotional scale? Have they accepted it? Has the other side, been the one that asked for it? Or are they in denial? Are they angry? That's one of the factors that we absolutely consider. I'm really trying, because I want to do some kind of ballpark number for you, but I really think that you're probably more likely to end up on the amicable side of things.
Yeah.
But we also...
That's an attorney thing too, though, right?
I would say we also spend a significant amount of time not only educating our clients,
right,
but preparing them for that path,
right,
versus litigation. Because there is a litigation path when things fall apart, but I almost never recommend that as the first cause of action.
Right.
Unless, again, there's one factor that goes into our assessment that leads us down that path.
I would guess the attorney you hire has a lot to do with that as well, because if you hire somebody who's very aggro and they're like, look, this is how you get things done. You just get in there and start crushing souls, right?
Absolutely. And that's one of the biggest factors. And I can't implore people enough. You need to talk to your spouse not only about what your intentions are, but what their intentions are for hiring a lawyer. And there's nothing wrong to say, hey, we're both going to go to the best lawyer in town and they're going to litigate, what out of the case. But just understand that that's going to be a really tough 12 to 18 months for your family.
Very expensive as well.
Absolutely. So, if you say, hey, I don't want that kind of divorce, and I'm going to go find a lawyer that's going to help us resolve these issues and not create more problems, it makes a huge difference.
Do you ever lay the numbers out? Like when somebody comes in here, like this bitch, blah, 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 or this a-hole, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, I want to do this, and I want to do that, and I want to do that. They're so pissed off. They just found out like a week ago, and they're definitely getting a divorce. I mean, is this one of those things where you like, hey, look, man, calmer heads prevail here. How many people do you have to talk off the ledge of doing that really severe kind of, burning bridges, nuclear button kind of scenario?
So as you described them, we've got a number for that in our office, again, because we have this kind of grading scale. And so for those people, we never let them hire us on the same day.
He came in at 10.
Something like that, but we never let them hire us the same day. It's always sleep on it and come back in 1 week, and we'll prepare a plan with you at that time.
Wow.
At that first meeting is just education, and that education goes both ways. You tell us what's happened. You tell us all the facts that you want us to know. We're going to ask you some questions, but then also on their end, we're educating them. This is what the law says about alimony. Right. This is what it says child support. Because some of the times people are upset that, hey, I'm getting divorced. They're going to ask for everything. And then I get to reset the expectation. They're not going to get everything.
Right. And that's kind of what I'm talking about. Like when somebody comes in, they're all nuclear like that. You can lay at them and go, hey, look, we can do that. We certainly have the ability to do that. This is what that's going to cost you. You have this possibility. You have this possibility. I'm this much an hour. Every time. Our firm has shown that the more you go at it like that, it extends the length of these things. Every week is going to cost you this much. Are you willing to go this far and have it cost you this much?
The data point that I think that most people care about is not the financial part, because I think people make bad financial decisions when they're emotional.
Me.
Me too, buddy.
Me. Definitely me.
But here's what I think the most important thing is when you can link together what their goals are with a particular outcome that you think you can achieve with a different path, right?
They like to hear that.
You know, one of the things that has happened very frequently in my career is you can't avoid child support. It's a formula. But you know what? We can make an agreement and put it in writing, and a court will enforce it with some very, very specific language that can help you avoid child support obligations when you're paying for private school and you're paying for all these things that are piano lessons, these things that are expensive but great for your kid. We can build language into your agreement that allows you to do that. A judge can't do that. So if you go scorched earth, you're paying all those things,
right?
Plus child support,
right?
Plus alimony. Or let's go back to this thing. You say your kids are your top priority. Let's create a solution where they're protected. You give them everything they want. You get to be the good guy, and you save a bunch of money. How does that sound?
Right, yeah.
People love that idea.
Right, sure they do.
You know?
Yeah. And I would think that would be very effective. You know, if you look at somebody and say, hey, look, we could go this way. This is that number. These are the, because I would think they would almost like a coach.
Yeah.
You would say, hey, look, man, if you pull that trigger, you can expect this response.
Right.
If you make this move, you can expect this response. And this response could go this way and this far. That would be vital to me. Like as much information as possible. I know that somebody if they come in and are hot-headed, they don't want to listen. And that's super important about 24 hours minimum to just chill the F out, maybe go have a beer or something, talk to me tomorrow, kind of understand what we're really looking at. What's the goal?
Right.
Do you want to dish out punishment, or do you want to get a good deal?
Right. And again, every case is unique. The personalities are unique. I have a case where I've represented this guy a bunch, probably 4 cases over the years, and his ex is just a very unreasonable person. And we just had a call today, and I think he's going to avoid having to hire me, and we came up with a solution that worked for him. But some people just have exes and spouses that I don't like to use the word need to be punished, but they need a judge to tell them what to do because they can't do it for themselves.
Yeah. Wow, man, that's incredible stuff. I mean, it really is. I mean, and again, things have changed so much here recently that, again, there are people who maybe have visited that idea before and and then now things are changed and they could maybe look at that again.
It's a whole different scenario now.
Yeah.
The game has changed.
It has changed.
Is there common law marriage? Someone texted that, wondering at what the case is here in Florida.
So some states have common law marriage, and if you have a common law marriage in another state, Florida will recognize it, but Florida does not in and of itself have its own common law marriage.
Okay, so you can be with someone for 20 years and you will not be recognized as husband and wife.
Not in Florida.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, 407-916-1041. Great job, by the way.
Thanks.
As always.
This was fun. This is your idea, so I'm so thrilled because it was a great idea.
Well, it worked out great for us because we get good content out of it, and people have to deal with situations like this all the time.
Absolutely.
And the more you can inform, like for me, I would look at even if you came down on me a little bit, I would still consider that an education. Even if it didn't work out my way, if you're like, this part isn't going to work out your way, bro, I would still look at that as an education. Okay, well, now I know that, and I can kind of look at this a different way now.
You can prepare.
Now you can
That's
prepare.
right.
Yeah. All right, 407-916-1041. Let's load them up for last call, guys. 4 lines. 4 lines are open. A little joke, a little callback, a little shot at Ray Trendley. He loves it when you take shots at him. He's an attorney.
I love the dad jokes.
He's built for it. Give us that. Again, that's 407-916-1041. 3 lines open now. Grab one now before they're gone, and we'll do last call next.
Make us think or make it funny. Just make it good. Get on board now for last call on the Jim Colbert Show. 407-916-1041.
From the Rude Air Conditioning Weather Center, powered locally by Ferguson HVAC.
Hey there, I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner with your Fox 35 Central Florida forecast tonight. We'll see a low of 76, storms ending early. Tomorrow the high 93, much of the same during the afternoon. A 50-50 chance for some storms. Any storms tomorrow could feature torrential rains causing some ponding on the roadways. Of course, the frequent cloud ground lightning and some winds that could gust toward 55 miles per hour. Same story for Wednesday. And as we head toward the end of the week, well, the rain chances will actually be going up to a 60% chance by this weekend. For the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner.
This report is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Need an oil change? Valvoline Instant Oil Change is happy to help. Drive in, stay in your car, and let our friendly certified technicians get you back on the road in no time. No appointment needed. Go to getyouroilchange.com for money-saving coupons. Why wait? Come see us today.
Here's a top move for hiring a divorce attorney. See how they look and handle themselves on video or audio. Chances are that's them at their best, with editing, setup, and multiple takes. The courtroom is live. Mediation is live. Make sure your divorce lawyer is going to make you look good. At Trenley Kramer Law, we handle family law and divorce. TK Law, one firm for life.com.
O'Reilly. Increase your vehicle's performance and gas mileage with Lucas Fuel Treatment at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Simply add it to your tank at your next fill-up to eliminate carbon and varnish deposits. Right now, get 2 bottles of Lucas Fuel Treatment for $10. See store for details. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store or shop online at O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go, shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer. The Home Depot and Behr are there for pros and now offer same-day or next-day delivery on top-rated Behr paints, stains, and primers. Get the most trusted paint brand in America delivered straight to your job site and spend less time stressing and more time painting. Contact a Behr Pro Paint Specialist to schedule your paint delivery today. The Home Depot. How doers get more done. Limitations may apply. Not available in all markets. See store for details. Ranked most trusted paint brand based on 2023 Life Story research.
I'm Jeff. I got a call that my wife Katie was in a bad car accident and was airlifted to Shands Hospital. When I got there, she was in surgery for a brain injury. She's had a long recovery. We needed an attorney. Our close friends recommended Glenn Klausman. Glenn Klausman was available 24/7 to help. We've been blessed by my wife's recovery. The results from Glenn Klausman's efforts were way more than expected. He's more than an attorney for us. He's a friend. Call him at 407-917-1718, KLAUSMAN law.com, office Winter Park.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, President of Operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Every day is good with the new Dunkin' Chorizo and Egg Wrap, made with chorizo, scrambled eggs, and cheese. Or the Chicken and Roasted Pepper Wrap, made with chicken, roasted peppers, and cheese. America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer. Terms apply.
Hear the latest news from the headlines on your phone. Download the free iHeart Radio app for exclusive live coverage of breaking news. From what's happening where you live to what's happening across the country. Live from the center of the story. Listen for free, anywhere, anytime. Download the free iHeart Radio app today.
In today's Marketers Report, Kate Cronin, Chief Brand Officer of Moderna, weighs in on the speed of audio production.
In this day and age, and particularly at Moderna, where we have new information coming out on a regular basis, being able to feed that information to the audio format makes being nimble and pivoting easy, and that's what I really like about it.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, influencers, insights, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Need a break? Take one during the summer payment break at Sutherland Nissan Orlando. Buy a new Nissan and make no payments for 6 months. Take a break from interest with 0% APR financing and get a lifetime warranty. Sutherland Nissan Orlando, home of the lifetime warranty. See dealer for details.
I'm good at cutting hair, but I never cut my budget too close.
Amscott's installment cash advance from $100 to $1,000 could mean more money and more time to pay it back. And no credit check. Amscott, some restrictions apply, subject to approval.
listening to The Jim Colbert Show, also available to watch. Yeah. We like it when you watch. At The Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1, 407-916-1041. Text us, 77031. We're all full up for last call. We'll get to you guys in just a few minutes. Welcome back. I'm Jim, Deb, and Jack, and Ross, and our buddy Ray Trindley is here like he is every single Monday. And again, if you missed any of the Divorce Myth series, please go to JimColbertLive.com. We have it all broken out right there. You can listen to every single one of them. And I am telling you straight up, it's free lawyering, all right? That's how you need to look at it. Free lawyering. He's giving you free advice, tons of it. That would usually cost you a lot of money, and let that guide your direction. And if you need to hire somebody like Ray to help you through the nooks and crannies of divorce, you can certainly do that. TK Law, that's onefirmforlife.com. The offices are right there in Altamont Springs. Very easy to find, and they have a stable of very qualified attorneys that can handle a number of issues that are family matters. Matter of fact, that's kind of what you guys special in.
That's it.
Very good. We didn't talk about this much because we didn't have much time, and we only have a couple seconds here, but Paul Rubens passed away. I mean, Deb had it in the news a little bit earlier, 70 years old. Didn't tell anybody about his cancer he'd been dealing with for about 6 years. That's not uncommon. Norm Macdonald did the very same thing.
Right.
Yeah, Norm didn't tell anybody, and then all of a sudden Norm's dead of cancer, and even his closest friends had no idea. They knew his stand-up had changed, and he started talking about death and God and things like that more. But, you know, again, Norm had so many curveballs, you never really knew what was causing that. It could have been a commercial he saw, you know. But
did you see the other death?
Yeah, Angus, whatever his name is.
Yeah, Angus Cloud, who was kind of known. He was off the show Euphoria, but I believe he was only 25.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
His father just passed away.
Wow, really?
About a week ago.
But Rubens, you know, outside the Pee Wee Herman stuff, he had some other performances that were shining. And I tell you, if you want to see this guy really act, go watch the movie Blow with Johnny Depp. It's basically.
I remember that movie, but I don't remember him in it.
Oh my God, dude! He's got one of the most. Him and one of the best scenes in the entire movie is him and Bobcat Goldthwait at this pool party.
Watch it
because he gets this real super pure cocaine, and that's kind of where the weekend got. I can't feel my face. You know, Bob Goldthwait says that when he snorts. He goes, "Hey, can I do a line?" And he does it. And he goes, I can't feel my face. You know, and then, you know, Rubens is the hookup. And the whole story, by the way, is the story of George Young, Jung. They became one of the biggest coke dealers and importers in the world, I believe.
That movie's got to be.
Oh my God, 20 plus years old. Yeah,
plus years old.
It is so freaking good, though, dude. It really is.
I remember watching when it came out. I enjoyed it, but you know, with the whole Pee Wee Herman stuff, you know, he was out of the public eye.
Oh yeah, he was. Deb, who do we have to thank today?
Well, we want to thank friendly attorney Ray Trindley from TK Law, onefirmforlife.com. Also want to thank Brandon Kravitz from our sister station, FM 96.9 The Game. And last but never least, Sam Bowen and Candace Rich for running our YouTube chat.
Absolutely. Jack, do we have a question of the day, friend?
We do, and it's all over the place on the different platforms. Would you want to be told if a band or artist was singing over a track of their voice, a backing track?
Yeah.
On Twitter, 41% say yes. If you go over to the YouTube chat, it's about 62% that say yes. So we go to gym members on Facebook, and they're coming in at about 69%.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yes.
I mean, I'd
want to know.
I'd want to know as well. Yeah, I'd like that. Yeah. Ross, stand up.
Yeah, it's finally here. A dream of a gig. Gaming Community Expo this Friday.
Yes!
I am performing for all the nerds and Verge.
Oh, well, tell me which gig is harder, the pro athlete one or this one?
I'll let you know.
Inside Roblox? Or what?
No, the show's at 8 o'clock Friday. It is a video game themed expo. You can get your tickets on gcxevent.com.
All right, very good. And of course, you can find Ray Trindley at onefirmforlife.com. TK Law, that's offices right there in Altamont Springs for great advice on many, many, many issues. Thanks, buddy. It's always good seeing you.
Thanks.
All right, let's get to it. Terry, last call. Terry, last call.
Yep. Oh, hey. What's the difference between the Rockettes and the Ringling Brothers Circus?
I don't know.
One is a cunning display of stunts.
Okay, thanks. Michael, last call. Michael, last call.
Come on.
Ah,
I was hoping you'd say me. Sorry, you guys, that I was about as sharp as a bowling ball when it came to the question. I chose Jamie Foxx. I'm sorry, it was Will Smith I didn't like.
Okay. You still don't win, buddy. My bad. Angry Eric, last call.
Bend over, you son of a bitch.
Oh, I'm gonna kick your ass. I got the thumb today, dude.
Yeah, it happened.
Oh,
I don't
God.
think it's the thumb. Is it the thumb?
I don't know.
I don't think it's the thumb.
I didn't look back. It could have been a lot of things. Mike or Party Mom? It's on you, Ross.
Ooh, let's go Party Mom.
Party Mom. Party Mom, last call.
So it's blowing my mind. Today, I heard that the first computer dated back to Adam and Eve. It was an Apple, but with very limited memory. It only had 1 byte.
Oh.
But then everything crashed.
Oh.
I don't get it. Smoke weed every day.
Thank you, Party Mom. All right. Very good. Not bad.
Okay.
Kind of screwed it up for him. My bad. Thought it was over. Mike Larson, take us home. Last call.
Is Trenley there? I wanted to talk to him. This is Mike Buzzer Larson.
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
Mike, how's it going?
Yes, Ray Trenley Esquire is here. Yes.
Good. Glad to talk to Ray. My dog, Ray, is very protective of her food and bites. Heck, she bit my wife, so I have to put her down. You know what, Ray?
Why's that?
I'm going to miss my wife.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
I think he broke his phone there at the end.
I think so too.
Pretty weak today. I'm going to be honest with you.
You
Pretty
know,
weak.
out of the two, I'm leaning towards Party Mom.
Yeah, I am too. I know that was two really bad. We should give that one to Angry Eric.
Yeah.
Angry Eric, you're on the board.
Hey, that's a second. Right?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's
So I think it's 3-2-2.
Oh, who doesn't like a tie?
Yeah.
All right, let's get the hell out of here. Coming up tomorrow, what'd you do that's
Americans.
new? And, of course, more of your calls, texts, and talkbacks as well. On behalf of Deb, Jack Ross, and our buddy Ray Trenley, I am Jim. We follow the News Junkie. They follow the Monsters in the morning. After us, it's Tom and Dan with the Corporate Time and our friends from Real Laughs. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 for more of the Jim Colbert Show. Until then, have yourself a wonderful Monday evening.
Bye.
Yeah. A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan is coming up next on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Delays continue along I-4 this evening in the Orlando area as you take the interstate both east and westbound. Still looking at some delays due to a crash reported on the 429 north.